What's up, guys? My name is Jomel,
My name's Jarron Gaddis.
and we are the Wannabe Boo podcast, bringing you the latest and greatest game anime news, reviews, and waifus for life. This is episode 50, the big 50. Look at that, Jarron. We're old as fuck.
We got 'em, boys. We fucking climbing on up, and what an episode we have for you today.
Yeah, we got a lot to talk about. A little bit of some seasonal updates, a little bit of some award updates. We got a bunch of shit to talk about.
That's right.
So far, how are you, Jarron? How's your week so far?
Uh, Pretty not too bad. I've been consumed by Final Fantasy 14, which my friends bought for me. So
Oh, okay.
I've been playing that a lot.
That's the online one, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
So I'm having a good time. If you've never played it, I mean, it is like you have to buy it, and then you have to pay a subscription.
Right.
But the quality is there.
Okay,
So
so it's a good quality MMO, right?
yeah.
All right. And I mean, and I know I wasn't there for that, but you also did another podcast, right?
Yes. I did a collab for Steven from Cyber Time Bite. We did a second collab on his channel for his 30th episode. It was me, him, and another podcaster by the name of Brian, who does what was it called? Toon Talks.
Okay. Yeah, unfortunately, I was not able to make that one podcast. I was out of the house and could not
Yeah.
be able to record. But I mean, how was it? How
It
was?
was a lot of fun. We went on for like 3 to 4 hours.
Damn. Okay. Shit.
Yep. But I had a ton of fun talking with them.
Yeah. Right. Well, I mean, I guess whenever Steven pulls up that episode, we'll
I'll post it to
um
the our prospective pages.
yeah. How about Brian's too, right? I mean,
Yeah, Brian was a gem of a person. It was good talking with him.
okay, that's pretty good. That's good. You had a good week so far.
How about you, Joma? How was your time? How was your New Year's party?
Oh, New Year's. Oh, it's great. New Year's was lit AF, as how the kids would say.
Yeah, Lit
Um,
ETD committee.
yes, definitely a lot of drinking. Not as much as Christmas, which is thank God, because Christmas we talked about this, but Christmas
Hmm.
was just like vomit everywhere and clean up process and
Jesus.
yeah, shit. But this time was pretty good. Um, a lot of food, a lot of people there. I actually did make a video of the party. I
Hmm.
don't know whether I should link it. Um, I'm not sure about that, but we did have a lot of fun. I didn't actually go to sleep until 7 a.m. the next morning,
Nice.
so that was a new world record for me. But besides that, um, so far as of right now, I'm just working on taxes because at my current workplace, we're starting to print all your W-2s. So make sure you
Oh,
guys do your
busy time's
taxes.
coming.
Yep. Make sure you guys do your taxes because I work my ass off just to print out your W-2s and 1099-Cs and W-1099s and all that good stuff. All right.
Yep,
So
all
do
that
your
legal
taxes.
jargon.
Exactly. Well, it's all just taxes. All
Oh yeah.
that's all the good shit that we want to talk about, right? The sexy stuff.
Right. The shit that really bring the real reason why people are watching Wanna Be a Boo.
Yeah, exactly, definitely. But before we go off on our actual topics, there's a bit of news I wanted to talk to you guys about.
Hmm.
This happened like quite a while ago, maybe 3 days ago, and I don't know if you're familiar with it, John. I'm sure you've probably seen it going around Facebook, but
I
it
might have.
it was regarding a Japanese idol from what's the group called again? I gotta pull this up real quick.
Oh, is that the one where
NGT48. That's the group name. It was
uh-huh.
it was the story where one of the idols was actually assaulted at her home,
Yeah.
and a few days after that, she actually publicly apologized to the crowd about what happened. She essentially apologized for the inconvenience of talking about it. Essentially,
Right, but it was surrounded by misconceptions because a lot of the headlines didn't actually put what fucking happened.
yeah, exactly.
To my knowledge, now I imagine you looked into it a bit deeper than I did, but from what I saw, was she wasn't apologizing that she got assaulted. She was more so apologizing to
Like
her.
talking about it, right? Well,
Well, no, she was. I thought she was apologizing to her crew because she thought that someone in their group had uh um essentially gave out her address and stuff, or maybe she accused her fans of doing that. That's why
well,
she was apologizing.
no, actually, well, related to that, there was some misconception about, or there were rumors going around that one of the members actually, gave out the address, but that was proven to be, false according to the managing company.
Okay.
Um, but the whole apologizing bit, um, let's see, hold on, I had a, let's see, so, the idol, her name, by her fans, she's also known as Mahohon,
Mahohon.
and let's see. So just going off of an article here that I found from the South China Morning Post. This was published, what, 2 days ago. A Japanese idol's apology over being assaulted has triggered waves of anger towards her management company to the people of Japan around the world. So Maho Mahohon, also known as Maho Yamaguchi, is a member of the group NGT48, apologized for causing trouble after she spoke out about an alleged assault that occurred in December 2018. Um, 23-year-old singer, often referred to as Mahohon by fans, stood on stage and bowed deeply several times in a video taken during the group's third-year anniversary concert. Quoted, "I am sorry for the trouble caused," she told the crowd. In the video livestream earlier in the week, Yamaguchi alleged that two men entered her home, covered her mouth, and tackled her to the ground before she managed to get away. The men were arrested, but later freed without any charges. Yamaguchi alluded to her manager's inaction over the matter in the video and said that she was concerned for her safety and that other members of the NGT48, an offshoot of the popular Japanese group AKB48, quoted, "This time I escaped harm," she said during the live stream. Quote, "But I think about what would have happened if I have been killed, if the unthinkable were to happen and nothing was done in time." Unquote. And essentially, the whole article kind of is sort of just a piece on how, essentially, she was apologizing just for the inconvenience of talking about the assault, thinking with her having her apologizing for just talking about that she was assaulted, and that's the main thing about the apology.
Oh, okay. So I'm completely wrong. All right, gotcha.
Yeah.
Well, fucking that goddamn sucks that she had to apologize for it because
And I mean, I'm gonna link. She also posted like 2 videos about talking about the incident on her Twitter, as well as there's also a bunch of people translating a bunch of the text, the messages that were sent out. Um,
Unfortunately, our dear viewers, as much as we love Japan, it has a host of problems, particularly involving sexism and how they treat their women.
yeah, definitely.
Um,
There was actually something quite interesting in the same article. This sort of phenomenon is not like actually uncommon, unfortunately,
yep.
because it's essentially part of the whole. It's part of like the nation's social values, apparently, and it's a characteristic of forbearance, and I'm quoting this from the same article. It's a characteristic of forbearance, or gaman in Japanese, is considered one of the most highly valued traits of a Japanese citizen, said Linda White, a cultural anthropologist and associate professor of Japanese studies at Middlebury College in Vermont. Quote, "For men, this often reveals itself in the ability to work grueling hours or endure torturous physical training. For women, gaman is often associated with tolerating uncomfortable or even abusive social interactions and power hierarchies," unquote. And quoted, when a husband is abusive, the wife needs to gaman. When a boss wants a sexual favor, a young worker should gaman. And while gaman may look like a masochism to an outsider, it is highly prized. It is a highly prized characteristic in both men and women in Japan. Unquoted. Said, who added and she also added on top of quote unquote taking it, women should bear difficulties without reporting them to protect a family or organization's honor.
Mm.
So this, I mean,
It's
I'll,
it's shitty and it's fucked up.
it's yeah, exactly. I mean, when I first ran across the article a few days ago, I was quite infuriated about this. It's because like, why should someone apologize because they talked about something bad that happened to them?
I mean,
That's
the very fact of it is that they shouldn't have to, but thanks to their uh I, I don't even know what to say. Like I hate it. Like I don't like that these things happen anywhere. Period. Fucking especially from a culture that I kind of like. You
exactly.
know, there's some cool shit about it, but then there's also very glaring problems. Especially this Gammon shit, and
Mm-hmm.
I, as much as I want to say, as I guess the non emotional side of me is like, well, that's just their culture. You got to kind of deal with it. I'm like, no, that's fucking stupid.
Mm,
Why is that even a thing? Like, how do
exactly.
you get to this point?
And what makes me even more like furious about it is like the two men that were involved. Apparently, they were fans of the group, and led to which led to the assault. Apparently,
Right, of course they were.
so
Quote unquote fans,
yeah, well, die-hard fans, I guess, to be able
stalkers,
to
bullshit pieces of shit that got to walk free for assaulting someone.
pretty much
And it's just that's it's a lot of shitty stuff Japan's done that
exactly. I
they
mean,
refuse to address.
granted, we're not the only
Nanking.
ones. Granted, we're not the only ones that feel the same. A lot of people, took Twitter by storm after this happened, and you know, uh, essentially just started like uh, just defending
Rallying
her.
together
Yeah,
and
rallying
yeah,
together, saying that they did nothing wrong and all that. And actually, and what's interesting too, apparently, like that night of the when she went on stage to apologize, the fans even like responded as well.
mm-hmm.
Like someone actually translated like the tweet and all that. So when she was saying, "I'm sorry for causing all the trouble on this occasion," the fans reply back, "No, you were right. You were right. As I told you before, there is something that I want to protect, but ended up causing troubles to also those who have taken care of me. I'm truly sorry about that." And the fans reply back with, "You did nothing wrong."
Mm-hmm.
And then apparently she had an opportunity to talk with the AKS staff, hoping this incident would be a chance to let NGT48 take a new direction, and I will take effort as Team G captain for that. Please keep on supporting NGT48. So we're not the only ones that think this was actually that this is wrong, and she should have. It's not a bad thing that she came out
And
about this
talked about it.
accusation.
Right.
Exactly.
It's like
And
everyone should come out and talk about their the shit that happened to them, regardless of what everyone else says, because it's one of those things where if no one knows it happens, then if no one knows but you, my fucking English language is dumb. If no one knows something happens but you, then no one else can do anything about it.
exactly.
So it's just you gotta come out. I know I can't imagine the kind of stress, kind of worry someone in those situations might have. But I mean, I can only think to say that saying something about it is the best course of action, because if
Definitely.
if nothing's said, then it's just gonna keep happening, and
Yeah.
I'll fucking shoot myself in the foot before I fucking let anybody that I care about let that happen to and not say something.
Exactly. So, I mean, I don't know. So far, nothing else has come out from this case so far. I mean, a lot of the fans did. There was a petition actually calling for NGT48's manager to resign.
He
It was
should. Fuck
launched. It
him.
was it was launched on this past Thursday in change.org, and by Friday of last week, it actually gathered nearly 30,000 signatures.
Mm.
So I mean, I don't know what. There's nothing else that's so far has come up. So far, the company canceled 3 upcoming events that
Mhm.
Yamaguchi had was scheduled to perform. So
Mhm.
they're taking some precautions right now and giving her a break because she kind of just went through a
Right.
traumatic experience, which
Right.
is
She would need it, and considering how much they work their idols, she fucking three just a few days worth of rest is more than is not. I want to say more than enough is like a godsend for them.
exactly. So I mean, and this is and like it's not even just this one isolated incident, but like like plenty other incidents as well. I was reading as I was reading up on this too. There were even like there was one case where like another idol, I think it was from a different group. She also publicly apologized for being caught having a relationship with somebody apparently,
I
and that
don't. I
also
honestly.
some controversy within that isolated space. I mean, granted, I'm fully aware of how a lot of these contracts were formulated. Even the K-pop contracts are sort of formulated like this. Like there's a like there's some written things about like how members are not allowed to openly date or even like think about trying to date because they're they are they're the fans, they're for the fans, and for them to get into a relationship, for them to go into a relationship that's a how do you say, that's disloyal to your fan base, and should and should be looked down upon, like as and recently was it one of the a K-pop member, what's his face, let me just shine blah 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 shine K-pop. Oh man, I gotta Edon. So I remember from Pentagon. Edon. He was actually kicked off of the group because he was caught in a relationship with a different solo artist, and he
Mhm.
was just completely cut. Even though like he actually wrote like one of the popular songs a while ago, but he was just completely cut because he violated contract and all that stuff.
I mean,
And
I
that's how
don't.
it goes with just a lot of these idol and Asian
I just don't
group kind
get
of
it. Well, like,
organizations.
I mean, I don't understand like how we get to the point where like we have to pretend like these artists owe the fans anything outside of their work. You know, like you were there as a fan to enjoy their music, enjoy their performances. Anything outside of that is a fucking is just icing on the cake. If they want to do, fan readings or signing things, it's honestly it's not even so much like the fault of the idols and artists themselves, because it's the organizations that they sign up with. Like they're so focused on, we got to make the quickest buck, we got to make the biggest amount of money. How do we make the biggest amount of money? We basically cut off everything to these people's lives so that they can only focus on performing and for their being for their fans. Like it's corrupt, it's awful, it's like it's just literally the worst. I hate it. But I mean, I don't know, it would take a lot for it to change. Like it would take quite a few new companies to, you know, throw that whole rule away and just allow artists to perform and be their human selves instead of just these robots that are, that the bad companies want them to be.
Yeah, exactly. And I mean, it's what was I gonna say? Like I mean, it's like what the article was talking about too. This is a problem rooted down to even cultural norms as well. So this isn't just a social situation like in the case of Mahohon, but
Hmm.
it's like deeply rooted with years of just it's a culture, which is
Right,
unfortunate. Like
right.
that's part of how people used to live, and I mean, still is how people live today in terms of like how they have to handle certain situations and all that.
Hmm.
And I mean, it's gonna have to, it'll have to take some time and some change, but that's how the reality is with some of this stuff is. And I just want to just point out how fucked up and just kind of like I don't like
It's
it.
gross. It's
Exactly. I
gross.
just
It's just fucking gross. I hate it.
yeah. So I just wanted to share that bit of news just to give some awareness about this too,
Mhm.
because it didn't. Because again, it's unfortunate that something like this, something like this had to be like the one few cases that kind of started sparking the whole.
The
Uh,
conversation about it.
yeah, exactly, sparking the whole conversation. Even though there's been years of
Mhm.
this kind of this cultural phenomenon happening, and I mean, I'm glad that it's starting to become a conversation, but it's also saddening that it's only starting like now.
Right.
I mean, I don't want to bring down this whole conversation, but this is something that I really wanted to talk about,
I mean, I'm
because
glad you brought it up because I definitely wasn't thinking about it.
yeah, because I mean, it also kind of reflects upon like like fandoms in general, how like
That's a good point.
because even something like this really puts a strain on like fandoms as a whole. Because I mean, the two men that were involved, they were fans apparently
Mhm.
of the group. And how does that look with genuine fans that kind of just want to enjoy their appearances or music?
Right.
It just
It's basically lumps them in with the whole idea that fans of Idol anything are just slobbering fools.
exactly. And then at that point, you're also making the idols themselves uncomfortable, and they won't be able to they won't be able to give us like the product, the music that we love, if we're constantly a threat to them in and outside of their professional life.
Right.
Like they invaded her home. Like that's not right. That's just
It's everything but right.
exactly. But I mean, I'm glad it's starting to be a conversation, and I hope things start
Within the
becoming more to light.
I
And
hope within the next few years, there's some major changes in the just the idol society as a whole.
exactly, I mean, to be honest, I think Japan and even a lot of the East Asian countries need to have their own Me Too movement at this point.
Yeah.
That should especially for their entertainment industry.
Hmm. Well, just
Because
in general, because like it kind of shines a lot of, like you said, the whole abuse stuff. It shines a lot on a lot of the domestic stuff that happens. Because
that's
like
true.
if if people that are out in the open, on TV, on on your phone are having to apologize for causing trouble, damn well regular housewives are fucking getting getting the shit.
Yeah, exactly. And it's not even just that. Like, it's even. I was actually kind of surprised that this was also like Gammon also applied to men as well. Like, that's
Hmm.
like the whole like, they should Gammon for men is like you should be able to work ungodly hours every week, and essentially be on the verge of overwork exhaustion. But
Right.
and you're not allowed to complain. You're not allowed to complain or raise issues about it because that's your Gammon. You have to be the man and be able to take all that kind of abuse because that's for your honor or for your family's honor or for no for the company's honor because you are a representation of the company, and if you were to let that down, then you're letting the entire company down. Like, that's fucked up, even on the man's perspective as well.
Yeah.
Like,
It's
this whole
basically
thing is
just like reinforcing the old, old gender stereotypes where the men have to be the absolute workers and providers and women just have to fucking caretake and that's it.
exactly. So I mean, a lot of it needs to be a lot of it more of a lot of it has to be more brought to light, and
Honestly.
we gotta start somewhere. We gotta start somewhere in terms of this conversation. I mean,
Hmm.
I'm glad it's being talked about now. We gotta keep doing better. We gotta keep supporting us as human beings.
Hmm.
That we're all people that kind of care, and that we have issues and troubles that we should be able to talk about, as well as be able to address reasonable issues.
Hmm.
It's not pride. I feel like this is just a giant pride argument, and that shouldn't even be about honor or pride. It should just be about humanity.
Right. But us humans, we gotta fucking throw our own beliefs in there somewhere.
Yeah, exactly. But that's my mini rant about this. This is something I've been wanting to talk about it, and I want. I mean, I did come. I mean, last week it didn't come arise last week, but it just this is fresh from 3 days ago as of this recording.
Mm-hmm.
So I did want to bring that to attention and just give some insight on it as well.
Right.
So didn't mean to bring anyone down, but let's keep going. Let's keep going with here.
Now let's roll into our topics for today.
Yeah. So as you guys know, last week we covered a lot of the what we were gonna watch in terms of this season's anime, starting with in January 2019.
Yep.
Granted, I only watched 2, but it's more than I. Hey, no, that's more. That's more than I normally would have, which is 0.
Look at me! I fucking did 2 instead of 0. Wow! Look at this! Fucking suck my dick! Hey. I did so well.
I did pretty good. I did a pretty good job. I'm at least hitting the big bangers.
You hit.
I hit 2.
You hit one of the big bangers.
No.
What was the other one you hit? You said the cute one.
Yeah.
That's way the fuck down here. Which one was it? The was it Indro or was it Pastel Memories? If it's not one of the top 6, it doesn't count.
It's Watashi ni Tenshi ga Majuroita.
Oh yeah, that's not a banger, Jomel. I'm sorry, that's just the next pedo bait anime.
Hey.
What? You fucking pedophile.
Excuse me. I don't need these accusations on me now.
It's not an accusation at this point. It's a fact.
As I was saying,
we're pushing issue. Out of all the anime, you watched Shield Knight, which is good. It's great start to the show. And you fucking watched the pedo bait one, which is basically Uzume 2, the Electric Boogaloo.
Actually, it's kind of funny. People actually have compared that to this in terms of the This is more of a tolerable useless maid.
Oh yeah, it's way more tolerable. it's not as in your face. I'll love you even after your first period kind of thing.
Exactly. This is not inappropriate kind of situations here.
It's kind of inappropriate.
Actually, no. See, I'll start it off. Okay, one of the first episodes I did watch, it was an anime called Watashi ni Tenshi ga Mayorita.
Yeah. The angels fell upon me or something like that.
Yeah. Pretty much it centers around a college student that, I mean, according to my anime list, falls in love with Hana at first glance, which is her younger sister's friend that she brought over home one day, and they're in elementary school, 5th grade. They're in 5th grade. Mm-hmm. And essentially it's a slice of life anime centering around Hinata. Yeah. Is it? No.
Yeah.
Miyako's a college student. That sounds around Miyako because she has a hobby of cosplaying or making cosplay in general, and she's got a habit of trying to trying to dress up. Hana, that's the girl's name, Hana, and also his sister into cute
and all the other girls
outfits
that she eventually gets involved with.
Well, I mean, they haven't showed up yet. Only Hana showed up, and I mean it's a cute series. If I were to actually compare it to anything, I actually would. It's actually kind of like a good comparison to Strawberry Marshmallow or Ichigo Marshmallow, which is essentially like a slice of life series about 4 grade school students and one of their older sisters just hanging out and doing shenanigans with each other.
Here's why that's wrong, Jomel. And here's why it's more comparable to Uzume. Hey, here's basically how one of the scenes went down. Hey, I'll give you candy and sweets and stuff if you let me dress you up in outfits and take pictures of you.
I mean, that's not a fair.
Shut up, Jomel.
That's not a fair comparison.
How is that not a fair comparison? That happened in the first episode.
Well, yeah, but if you're wording it like that, it sounds like some sort of dodgy material here.
It's exactly what happens. It's literally what's happening in the anime. That is verbatim what's happening.
And
In fact,
she did give them sweets
she
and
gave
dress
them
her up in
sweets and dressed
dress up
them up.
in cosplay. Yes.
Right. It's exactly what's happening. You say it. You're saying I'm trying to dress it up as some dodgy thing. No, it's literally what happened.
Yeah.
Dodgy.
But nothing dodgy ever happens though.
She took pictures of a child after baiting her with sweets in various outfits. That is literally what happened. That is the dodgy thing that happened.
You know, John, I'm really feeling some sort of tension right now. I feel like you're trying to say. I feel like you're trying to say something.
I'm saying that this is a dodgy anime, just like with Uzume.
I
Now,
don't know.
that doesn't mean that it's not funny and I'm not gonna watch it, because I did watch the first episode. It was funny. It was enjoyable. That
Right.
does not change the fact that it was dodgy. Uzume was funny and enjoyable, but it's dodgy as fuck.
That I mean, obviously, if one of the protagonists is essentially talking about someone's egg cycle, that's actually that can be very dodgy. This
Right.
is this. You know what? I'm not gonna sound any more.
Don't defend it, Jomel. It is what it is.
It's cute girls doing cute things. I'm enjoying it so far.
It's cute girls doing creepy things. Yep.
Well, one of them is, but
Yeah.
I mean, she cosplays herself, so
That's true. That's cute. That she's
Yeah.
she's super shy and doesn't like to. She cosplays when no one else is looking. That's cute. Sure. Yeah.
exactly.
Definitely. But let's not deny the dodgy things happening, Jomel. But moving on.
You know, this is a terrible segue from what we were just talking about a while ago. Oh man. Let's move on here.
All right. Well,
Let's both go into something that we did both watch.
we both watched Shield Knight, and this I honestly believe this Slime's got some competition right now.
Yeah,
Like-
I wouldn't say it's bad competition. I want to compare this to it complements it. I feel like rather than a competition. To be honest with you.
I don't know. This is direct competition.
You sure? You think so?
They're both isekais, but they go in completely different directions.
Yeah, exactly. Like that's why I'm saying like I feel like they complement each other because this is like if a one case scenario went one way and then Shield Knight is the other case scenario.
I mean,
which is
I
good.
guess,
It's like,
but that still makes them competitive because they're still isekais.
that's true, but we're both watching it, so we're both enjoying it. I feel like it's not much of a
Right now,
competition.
both shows are great,
Yeah,
but they are great for different reasons. But we're gonna see which one, like,
reigns on top.
reigns on top.
That's true, because both of these so far both of these animes are good examples of isekai, like good isekai
Right.
anime.
Right. They are standard. Well, okay, no, false. Let me. They're standard, but with a twist. Twist for Slime, obviously the main character is a slime. Twist for this is the main character is accused of rape and is now a super cynical, super cynical boy running through the world with his slave.
Jesus Christ, what's with all these segues? It's all linking together. Jesus
Yeah,
Christ.
it's honest.
Oh, this is
it's
bad.
really bad.
Oh
but,
my god!
like-
Why? You know, keep going.
So I guess kind of spoilers, but it's the synopsis for the first episode. It's the first episode.
Actually,
watch.
it says the whole thing is said right here in my anime list. So
Oh, is it? Oh,
Yeah.
well then, yeah, it's in the synopsis. So basically, four knights are summoned, or four people from alternate universe Japans are summoned to this world. And they're supposed to be the four heroes to stop the demon waves from coming or whatever, blah, 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 who cares? The basic idea is that these four knights have four different weapons. Three of them have actual weapons, and one of them, our main character, just has a shield, which has no offensive capabilities whatsoever. And because of that, everyone's like, "Oh yeah, Shield Knight sucks." So he's not really getting any respect. And when it was time to divvy up for, everyone's got to go on their own adventure and level up by themselves. We're as a kingdom, we're gonna try to provide you with some party members. No one joined the Shield guys team except for one girl who later on, we're just gonna fast forward on, betrayed him by accusing him of raping her. By the way, I need to poke some holes in here because they didn't.
I mean, let's not
That
go any.
was a bad turn of phrase.
Actually, yeah.
I need to poke some holes in this. I'm sorry. I know we don't want to go super deep into spoilers, but this has to be said.
Okay.
Uh, she specifically accused him of getting drunk and storming into a room, and that's when he pinned her down and did the do. Now, here's the problem: our main character absolutely refused to drink the whole
Yeah.
time. Like he
Yeah.
was like, "No, I don't want to drink." It's like, "Oh," but she's like, "Oh, but are you sure? You know, it's rooted in the matriarchy of the kingdoms. Like, no one ever turns down a woman for a drink." He's like, "No, I'm sorry, I don't drink." Now that inn was full of people who I'm sure saw them in the inn and saw him refuse her drink. There's no damn way that they didn't. That
What do
was
you
the biggest
what are you trying to
point
say
of it.
though?
That there was a hole in her story. She said that he stumbled in drunk. There's no way no alcohol passed his lips. There's literally that's the biggest hole. You could if he pointed that out and called some witnesses, it would have been done and over with.
I mean, you could also argue that it was probably well,
Like
yeah.
everything else was set up perfectly except for that. That was the only thing not mentioned. She said that he stumbled in drunk. He didn't fight that part of it. He just said he didn't do it. He should have said, I didn't, there was no way I could have stumbled in drunk because I didn't drink. That,
Yeah. I
bam,
mean,
right then.
not just that. There's also another hole.
What?
It's the armor too. Remember that she gave the armor to Spear Dude?
Right.
They could have brought in the shopkeep.
That is true. They could have brought in the shopkeep because he would know his own work.
Exactly. I mean, he was there when you sold it to him. Like
Right.
he could like say, yeah, that was for him.
Right. That's a good point. That's another hole. All literally this entire series could have been solved in the first episode if we fucking used our brains. But whatever. Our main character's super edgy now, and he's going off buying slaves to help him.
Pretty much. But I'm enjoying it so far. I
It's
this is
pretty good.
this is I mean I'm glad that Shield Hero is here because I mean I'm not ready for Slime to be done, but when it does,
When it
end.
does end, we got this 25 episode anime.
Exactly. So this is gonna carry us for the next couple of seasons.
Right, which is fucking great.
Because I know apparently, because I mean, from what I've been told, it doesn't get better for him, and I don't want to like see him go through that, but I kind of want to see that that takedown and rebirth kind of thing. You know what I mean? Because I didn't
It's
realize
less
this.
of a rebirth because from I heard a synopsis of the entire series and he just stays cynical the entire time.
Well, in terms of like his skill, like he's actually
Oh yeah. No, he
like
gets.
he's actually even though he's Shield Hero, he's not the most useless person out of the four heroes, if anything.
I mean, cliche is gonna say that. They're gonna get to the waves, and the other three heroes are gonna get their ass beat, and then he's gonna be like, "Oh, what? They're doing damage? I'm sorry, I didn't notice."
Yeah, exactly. I'm tanky as fuck. Like,
Right. He's
I mean,
already tanky. He can't feel pain or something like that.
exactly. I was like, is he just like that? Is that his passive, or is he just that tanky? Like, turns out he's just that tanky.
I mean, if you're a shield hero, I expect you to be super fucking tanky.
Exactly. And I didn't notice this before, but like one of the promo images of the anime,
Hmm.
there's like a bunch of like this kind of like weird kind of pattern design around like our main heroine boy and his partner. But I looked at it closer. Turns out that's like his fucking shield tree, like his skill tree.
Right, yeah, that's the shield tree.
I just looking at that photo, that promo image. I'm like, that's not a skill tree. That's a skill forest. Like, holy shit.
Right.
I mean, he's going full slime, but he's just feeding his shield, like
Yeah.
anything he can find at this point, and just giving it pretty much everything that it can eat and handle, and like transform into its own fucking weapon. Like, which is actually a lot cooler than I thought. Because I thought how the shield's like small in comparison and all that. I thought it was gonna like, expand into a tower shield or all that good stuff. No, it's a fucking full on magical item that'll just
Well, it does technically transform,
yeah. Well, I mean, I
but
thought
but
is
it
that
retain the cool thing about it is that he doesn't have to keep it in its other forms
yeah.
because if he masters one shield, it the stats of that one carry over to any other transformation. So if he got them all, he could just go back to the regular look of his shield, but he still have all the passives and stat boosts from all the other shields,
Right, exactly.
which is really fucking cool.
But
And and a gameplay standard,
yeah, pretty much. And I mean, so far they have some pretty good characters just because I hate majority of all the characters so far.
Yep, that's a good start.
And I like how they have like this is just me being like very detail oriented, but I like how they have the swordsman being voiced as the same person that voiced Kirito
Ah, that's
since
funny.
since that character also is seeing the entire ordeal as a video game,
Yeah,
like just that as a video game.
right.
So
Oh,
I
and
just
he was the one with the from the VR world too.
yeah, he said he's the one that's familiar with VR MMOs. Like I feel like that was a giant nod,
Oh,
seeing that
that's a huge nod. There's no way.
since they had his voice actor voice that role.
There's absolutely no way that wasn't a nod. In fact, I would go as far to believe that he was pulled from SAO.
You're thinking that like
I
you think
would
it's
go
that
as
deep?
far as to say he was pulled from SAO. Yes.
I don't know. I think you're going a little too
I
tinfoil
might be
hat here,
reaching,
John.
but I don't know. I'm just saying.
And it's a critical nod. And the first episode is like 45 minutes, so you're gonna get a lot of good first episode
Yeah.
content from Shield Hero. But
Mhm.
I'm definitely gonna be enjoying this. It comes out every Wednesday, which is fucking sucks because I have to wait in the middle of the damn week
Yeah.
to like wait for that. But it's okay. You know, it's a good midweek anime. So I'm gonna have to, wait till
Something to look
this
forward to. You got
Wednesday.
Monday and Wednesday.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, plus I have other anime to watch anyway too. So
Yeah, that too. Yeah. Let's see what else we got. Mob Psycho 102. It's looking pretty good. Essentially, it's the same idea as the first season. You know, you got Mob OP as hell, but he's coming more to terms with his emotions, which is pretty nice. But they also reintroduce the Mob counter, and I'm curious as to what that's going to build to. Wait, Joma, have you seen the first season of Mob Psycho?
I have not, to be honest with you.
Oh my god. Go watch SAO. It's really good. Hasn't watched Mob Psycho. Come on, man. It
I
was
know.
made by One Punch Man's author.
Yeah, I watched One Punch Man. I don't. I just couldn't get into Mob Psycho back then.
Because it's weird. I
Maybe that's why.
understand. It's
Maybe there's
weird.
like it might have been just that because at a certain point I think something can only be as weird. Like kind of same reason why I didn't watch Kageguru season 1.
What?
Yeah.
That one was beautiful. Oh, fair enough.
There's only so much weird I can take, Jarron. You know what I mean? Like
I'm just saying.
I'm
Mob
I'm
Psycho's a gem.
I'm surprisingly like boring as fuck, but on the occasion, I mean, I will think about it because I mean, I did try out the first 3 episodes. Did my first 3 episode rule, and I couldn't get back into it after the 3 episodes. So I mean, I at least tried.
Yeah,
I may go
I'll
back
give
to
you
it.
that.
I may go back to it again.
You
Maybe.
won't.
No.
No, you won't.
No. Okay.
Every anime fan says that. Yeah, I'll go back to it at some point. You won't. It's okay. It's not okay, but I'll give you a pass
Since I at least tried.
because you at least tried. Next up we got is Yakusono Neverland. I forgot
No.
the English title.
It's The Promised Neverland.
The Promised Neverland. Yeah, this one. Oh, this one's gonna be that one that I'm gonna not like to watch.
Like the spooky.
It's real spooky.
Okay.
It started spooky. No, it started pretty cute, and then it got spooky, like in the last
Okay.
like 5 minutes of the show.
I mean, I didn't watch it yet, but I'm definitely gonna be watching this. 'Cause I didn't know when it was coming out. So I mean, it came out this past Friday. So I'm gonna have to catch up to that.
It got pretty spooky and set a bad tone for the rest of the show.
Oh, really? Like a little bad taste in your mouth?
Bad taste in the sense that there's gonna be more bad tastes to come,
Mm.
because they specifically pointed out that there's 36 of them. Now there's 35.
Ooh. It's gonna be one count. It's gonna be a countdown every episode, isn't it?
I would imagine. There's only 12 episodes. There's gonna be a lot of them.
Well, I mean, basic rundown of the first episode, Jerome, without
Without spoiling,
Yeah, I guess.
basic idea is that there's a group of there's this farm out in the middle of a forest kind of deal of kids, and it's supposed to be an orphanage. Every so often, someone will adopt one of the kids, and they'll be gone. Strange enough, none of them write back. But all the kids are pretty smart, particularly the three main characters. who are very athletic, very extremely smart, probably IQ IQs in the 200s maybe, that kind of stuff. And two of them discover a secret about the quote unquote orphanage that will change their lives, and now they have to try to escape. Does this say in the synopsis about the demons? I think it does.
Um, let's see. No, nothing about demons specifically.
Well, something changed their fate, and they got to figure it out and escape the orphanage. And there's demons. But
Pretty
that's it.
much spooky, right?
Pretty spooky. I haven't watched Category XX, but I was reading the manga, so it's just a continuation of the story. I don't remember what happened at the end of the. Oh yeah, she faced off against I guess the student council president's secretary, was she? I guess in that big tower, or is that happening in this season? I don't know. More weirdness, more extreme faces, more of what you like, more gambling.
Pretty
Good
much.
stuff. I didn't watch Dororo yet because it's not on Verve. I gotta find it somewhere.
Wait, Dororo as in the
Samurai one.
Okay.
I haven't watched Data Life 3 because I haven't watched Data Life 2.
Did you watch Boogie Pop?
I did watch Boogie Pop. I don't even know how to explain it. I literally I get it, but the first episode is told out of order. It's not the first episode. If anything, it introduces you to the main. It's not even the main character. There's a because I can't.
How about this? How about this? Do the tags hold up? Like it's a mystery horror psychological. How much of that is actually true?
All of that. It's not really mystery though, because we already know by episode 2 it explains what happened in. Well, it doesn't explain what happened in episode 1, but it tells you who the bad guys are right off the bat in episode 2.
Okay.
And the horror does hold up, quote unquote horror. It's just gore.
Okay.
And I don't know about psychological yet, other than the fact that the girl that's quote unquote Boogie Pop is has multi personality disorder.
Okay.
Boogie Pop's one personality, and the other is just a regular high school girl.
So it's like it's an entity that kind of takes over her.
Yeah, but Boogie Pop's aware of the other one, but not the other way around.
Oh, okay. So like, what's the main point of it?
Okay, so the most basic idea I can give you is that there's a monster let loose in the high school, and it can shape change into people that it's killed. Boogie Pop was sent from somewhere or something to kill the monster.
Okay.
Which apparently happens in the first episode. Which is why I say it was told out of order, because you get more of an idea of what's going on in the second episode.
Right. All right.
But there's still questions. I don't know.
I mean, it's only 2 episodes so far, so.
Yeah. It's going to be 18, and God knows what's going to fucking happen.
Yeah.
I haven't watched
I mean, is there anything else you...
I haven't watched that.
Just scrolling through all this. Is there anything else you
there's
watched?
A couple.
Is there? Okay.
Yeah. I watched the Go to Obun no Hana Yome, or the Quintessential Quintuplets. It's a classic harem anime. But this time, going off of what we talked about in the last podcast, the main character has a personality. He's poor. He's working for He's working with these 5 sisters to tutor them, because he's gonna get paid a lot. All the girls are stupid, but they all have their tropes.
Wait, they're all stupid?
They're all siblings.
No,
they're quintuplets.
I mean, like, they're all stupid, you said?
They're all stupid, yes.
Oh, okay.
The reason why they left their previous school is because they all almost failed.
Damn.
And some of them did completely fail.
I guess they are all related then.
Yeah. You got your basic tropes in your girls. You got your main character girl that's kind of a tsundere. Kind of not, You got your quiet, shy, gamer type. Maybe if not gamer, then just quiet, shy. does her own thing kind of girl. We got your socialite that's secretly super fucking yandere sadistic kind of. We got your airhead idiot that's always bubbly, and we got One-san. We all know what One-san's like.
Yeah, definitely. That's my favorite out of the
Right?
bunch.
It's fucking same. All have big boobs, so sorry, you lolly pieces of
Oh,
shit.
that's a surprise. There's usually that one token flat chest.
There's usually, but no, all of them are stacked.
Look at that, upgrading now.
Yep. I didn't watch Minaria Friends, unfortunately. I really do need to. I watched the cat one, the Do Kyonen wa Hiza Toki Doki Atama no Ue. Basically, from what I'm getting is that there's this novelist that doesn't like to talk to people. He saved a cat and is now taking care of it because it inspires him to write more. And most of the episodes told from his perspective. The rest of it's told from the cat's perspective, and that's just the dynamic of the show.
Hmm.
This next one that I thoroughly enjoy is Ueno-san wa Bukiyo. Basically, Ueno-san is this little, I guess, high school girl, middle schooler. No, yeah, she's a middle schooler who's a genius. She creates a bunch of weird shit that it all works, but she is a freak in the sense that there's this other boy in her science club that she likes, but he's like main character of the year, fucking denser than goddamn lead. Like it's
Oh
fucking
God.
stupid. Like she basically literally told him that she liked him, but he didn't get it. And she uses her different inventions to try to woo him.
Oh,
For
okay.
example, I mean, she's still a child, so she doesn't understand why things are weird. For example, she made a perfect filter that can get rid of all impurities in a liquid and just turn it into water. So she used her pee and wanted him to drink it after it was purified. And I guess she couldn't really get why he wouldn't want to drink it. But he didn't get why she wanted him to drink it, which is more understandable on his side.
Yeah.
But, she did, but she wanted him to drink it because she wanted, I don't know. It's weird. It's funny. I'm assuming it's just going to follow the ideas of she invents something weird to try to get his attention, but he doesn't get it. But it's good. I like it. And the only other thing I watched was the Watashi pedal bait one.
Oh.
But there are a lot more that I do want to watch.
Like Kimono no Friends too.
Yeah. But yeah, so that's basically all the anime that we've watched from this season.
Yeah, so far. I'm still working on it, but I'm definitely gonna be
You
cut.
better fucking watch more.
I'll at least be up to date by our three episode analysis.
Mm-hmm.
So at least the ones that I do want to watch.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, you fucking better.
I'll do better this year. That's actually one of my resolutions to watch more anime this year in total. So that's something I definitely want to work on. But there, other than that, like again, this week is gonna be a lot to talk about because I completely didn't think this was gonna happen so soon. But as of right now, as of the January 11th, Crunchyroll has now opened up the Anime Award voting polls.
Yeah, boy.
And you know the drill, guys. This is how we started off our first few episodes of the podcasts, and there is a lot of categories to go through. Sort of, it's a lot.
Yeah, it's. I don't know if I would say there's more than previously, but there's two different ones at the very least.
Oh, okay. And so far I do want to just go. We want to go through them with you, even give you our own kind of votes because right as of this week, the votings for all the categories are gonna be up until February. Where is it here? February 16th. So Actually no. Oh shit, no, hold on. False. Okay, okay, my bad. No. So according to the Anime Awards, the description here, um, cast votes starting Friday, January 11th, and then fans will have 1 week to discuss, decide, and share
Oh,
their choices. So okay, so my bad. So it came out last Friday. You guys have up until this coming Friday, January 18th, to cast your votes, and all of that will be revealed on February 16th. So it'll be streamed. This will actually be streamed exclusively on Twitch. So if you guys want to put your votes in for all these categories, you have you have less than a week now because it came out last Friday and the 11th. You have until the 18th to put your final votes in, and I probably should do that as well.
same.
So actually, we can actually do it right now. So we actually do it live right now, John, since all the votes are pretty much open up to do. Because
Right. Let me.
I didn't get a chance to vote actually last year. So
Right, because we were late in the game.
definitely. Um, so let's go down this nice little voting poll for the 2019 Crunchyroll Anime Awards.
Here's hoping I can fucking log in though. 'Cause I don't remember my Crunchyroll password. All right, there we go. All right, starting with. Wait, I just logged in. What are you doing? Uh. Okay, that's just that. All right, starting with best protagonist of 2019, which is on it though. I honestly find it weird that we're already doing the voting
Like just in general.
just in January. So
Oh
I think it's counting all of 2018 as well.
yeah, pretty much. Cause like the season did end like what a couple weeks ago,
Yeah.
the last
So
season. So definitely, I mean it's actually a good time, I guess. And then February will be a good time just to announce everything for
right.
last year.
So yeah, this is counting for most of the all of the anime in 2018 and the few that ended in 2019. So first up is best protagonist. We have Retsuko from Gretsuko, uh, Yumeko Jabami from Kagekuri, Joe from Megalobox, Violet Evergarden from Violet Evergarden, Rimuru Tempest from. Wait, that doesn't count. That's still going. Anyway,
Uh,
Rimuru Tempest from that time I got reincarnated as a slime, and Sakuta Atsugawa from Rascal Does Not Dream of Bunny Girl Senpai.
so what are you thinking here, Jaron? What are we thinking?
In terms of best protagonist, person that I love to follow, or person that I just enjoyed the most.
Because like let's think about this. Because we're talking about these characters as protagonists, so that means they have to be able to have to carry themselves throughout the entire show.
Right.
You know.
And I also want to argue that they need to have enough depth as a person to be really considered, because you can enjoy someone in the anime that they're in, but if they're not like a real person, then it's kind of pointless.
Well, realism like
I mean, I guess
relatable
not
or
pointless. You can enjoy what you want to enjoy, but like
relatable or as in just you understand them as a person.
not relatable. But I want to see some different sides to them other than just you know their
Just just
character
just
that they're
being
playing,
MC.
that they're
Okay.
being portrayed as. For
Okay.
example, I love Yumiko Jabami. She's a fucking cool character. Not enough depth. She is just crazy gambler girl.
Okay.
So that's what I mean. Joe would also fall in that from Megalobox, because as good as a character he is, again, no depth.
He's still Joe.
He's just Joe. He's passionate about boxing. You know, kind of serious about it. That's really it. There's not much to say about Joe himself, unfortunately.
Great character, great anime, but
Great character, right.
but
I haven't watched Gretsuko, so I can't give a fair vote on that.
same.
But I have watched Violet Evergarden and the other three. Uh, Violet does have depth, as well as being the emotionalist, quote, kind of emotionalist kudere that she is. Rimu has good depth. You know, you get very bunch of different sides to him, and Sakuta was has a lot of depth because you get a lot of him. You get every side to this boy. which is why I'm personally probably going to give it to Sakuta because I really enjoyed his character.
You okay, Sakuta?
Yeah.
All right, well there you go. That's John's vote is going with Sakuta Azusagawa. So for me, it's a little bit different. I'm gonna go with the same mindset when it comes to like depth in terms of character.
Hmm.
But I also want to like add to the whole. I would like. I mean, this is more so an optional thing, but I like when characters have an arc in a sense where
Hmm.
where they've come from somewhere, and by the end of the series, they've either improved as a character or even become, even like they've changed in a sense.
Right. I understand that.
And for me personally, I would actually have to put my vote for Violet, just
Hmm.
because
Oh yeah. Yeah.
like I mean the entirety of her story was just trying to discover herself because
Hmm.
her backstory coming from essentially a war orphan that has known nothing but war and
Hmm.
has she herself had to discover herself and discover what it really means to ironically feel
Hmm.
being the emotionless type she was, and to be able to translate feelings in writing, at least in her sense, where she became one of the most exceptional um, dolls in the letter writing company.
Hmm.
That shows a lot when it comes to her character, and I loved seeing her just evolve as a character.
Hmm.
Granted, not expression in terms of expression, not really as much, but her in terms of her letter writing. I mean, granted, I didn't cry in any of the Violet Evergarden. I'm probably some sort of
I just
soulless
don't know
bitch,
how
but
episode 10 didn't just punch you in the heart. Like that one, that hit me real hard.
I don't know. I mean, again, granted, I did feel I felt a lot. There was a lot of emotion, a lot of care in this, and a
Hmm.
lot of. But I didn't. I mean, I didn't cry, but I really did feel the emotion, and I really did feel how Violet essentially became. She became a better version of herself from during the war to
Right.
now. And I'm really glad where she came up, and I'm really excited for that movie that they're gonna be coming out with for this series
Yeah, I did
sometime
remember
this
hearing
year.
about that.
But definitely that my vote's going for Violet. That's with my thing.
Hmm. All right, so that was for best protagonist of the year. Next up, we get best antagonist because every good protagonist has to have a good antagonist.
Exactly.
Granted, only one of them match up to any of the others in the previous category. um,
Technically, yeah.
Up here we got Ryo Asuka from Devilman Crybaby. If you don't remember that name, it's Satan from Devilman Crybaby. We got Akane Shinjo from SSSS Gridman. We have All for One from My Hero Academia Season 3. We have Yuri from Megalobox. We have Tokushiro Tsurumi from Golden Kamui and Momonga from Overlord 3, 2, and 1.
All right.
Uh,
So in terms of antagonists, are we going with the notion of complementary, or are we going with by their contrasting beliefs against the protagonists?
I'd have to argue it's both because one, a good antagonist makes a great protagonist,
Right.
or I shouldn't say I should say a great antagonist makes a great protagonist. Because if you just have a protagonist with nothing in their way, then what's the point? What are you watching? You know.
One Punch Man.
Fair. All right, okay. There's certain cases. Well, no, because One Punch Man is his own antagonist.
That's true. If you want to pull it that way,
So there's always an antagonist somewhere
even if it's
lurking,
the same person.
even if it's you, right? Um, but also as themselves, they're believe. I guess I don't know if I want to say believability as a villain, but like their drive that makes if it makes sense if it's like
Like it justifies their drive to do what they
right.
do.
Instead of just being so instead of just being like, "Oh, I'm evil because I'm evil," you know, give me something to that evil. Either you're evil because your beliefs are just different from the main character, or you evil because you just have a different worldview of everything. Maybe that different worldview in itself is evil, but you have reasons to it. You have depth to it. Not just I want to rule the world because fuck you.
Right.
Granted, none of the people up here are like that, Though I
Yeah,
can't say
they're
anything
not
for Golden Kamuy because I haven't watched it.
mature because I don't not everyone here is that complex from what I can tell.
That is also true. Actually, you know, I would argue none of them are that complex.
I mean,
Oh, right. Well, all right.
maybe I could
I raised the bar too high for them.
maybe I can argue Akane, maybe just a little bit, especially with that last episode.
That is true.
And then maybe Yuri if I'm pushing it because what he did in that last fight to himself.
Right. Right. I mean,
So
I would give it to Yuri in the sense that he was a good
like motivator for Joe.
he was the motivator for Joe. He was
That's
the
true.
in fact Yuri was the entire reason for the show.
Actually,
Like
that's true.
none of that would have happened if Joe had not met him.
Exactly.
So that's I don't know if I'd vote for him yet, but that's why I'd say Yuri's a pretty good antagonist.
So
Uh,
who are you leaning more towards in terms of the vote?
I don't know. I can't. I don't want to give it to Momonga because as much as I love Overlord, he is technically the antagonist to everyone else, but he's the main character, so he's our protagonist.
Yeah.
So that I don't know if I'd count that. Plus, he's not technically evil. Everyone around him's evil. He's just going along with it.
Right.
So he's not a good antagonist.
All for one. I mean, all he had was just one major fight, and then the rest of it, a lot of it was more so just backstory around who he was, right?
Yeah, he's not he's I would say he's probably a good antagonist for All Might because All for One's more on the side of I'm evil because I want to be evil, but
Yeah.
he also has depth to his evil worldview. But like it's more so a counter to hey I'm super evil to All Might's hey I'm super good.
Yeah.
It's
Like
just that
like he wants to
simple
play that
counter.
game pretty much.
Right, he just wants to play that game exactly. So I can't really give it to him because he's a good villain as a villain, but not. But outside of that, it's just kind of like I don't know. That didn't make sense. He's a good villain stereotype,
Okay. But not a good
but
antagonist.
not a good antagonist because he's not the antagonist to our main character.
Right. His ideals are, but not him himself.
His right, exactly. Satan. Well, he's Satan.
Isn't that
So,
everyone's antagonist?
basically, if you believe in the Christian faith,
Yeah.
I guess Jewish faith. Do Jews believe in Satan?
They did believe in Jesus. Again,
Well, they don't believe in Jesus.
Oh yeah, no. It's they don't believe he's a savior, right?
right. He was just another guy, basically.
Disclaimer, by the
Another
way.
Jew.
Disclaimer: we are not at all any
Yeah.
experts of religion.
If we're wrong, by all means tell us because you're
Yeah,
probably right.
pretty much.
Satan was Satan. He didn't know he was Satan until he found out he was Satan. Though I guess his evil was pretty interesting because it was an unknowing evil. He was driving the main character towards evil without either of their knowledge until shit really went down. I mean, even then he didn't know that he was evil.
Mm-hmm.
So I'd say that was pretty interesting as antagonized way. Plus, he also spoiler alert, he won.
Mm.
So
How about Akane?
Akane is a. I needed more of in the situation where we were like unraveling her as a person. I needed more of that for Akane
That's
because
true.
basically all we got was that she was lonely and made a world for herself.
Pretty much, and her whole thing was sort of like I wouldn't say a rush, but it was kind of like wrapped up like real quick
Yeah.
towards the end.
So
So I mean,
currently my vote's in between Satan and Yuri.
I mean, I didn't see Devil May Cry Baby, unfortunately, but I'll probably go with Yuri just because of your comment with the whole reason for Joe was Yuri,
Right.
in a sense.
Right.
So Megalobugs was kind of done because of Joe's motivation to fight Yuri in the ring.
Right. I have to give it to good old Satan because it was an interesting. It was interesting to me that he was evil the whole time, but neither of them knew it until the end, and
Okay.
then he won. Rarely
There
do you
you
get the villain to win.
there you go. Well, I'll just go for Yuri in terms of my
Yeah.
own the last comment. So
Mhm.
that'll be for that.
All right, now we got best boy, and I kind of already have my my vote. Like,
Same.
all right, so we got Kotaru Tatsumi from Zombieland Saga, Honda-san from Skullface bookseller Honda-san, Izuku Midoriya returning to this category from My Hero Academia, Sakata Asugawa from Bunny Girl Senpai, Halda from Agretsuko. He's I think he's a jackal.
Like the animal.
Yeah,
Okay.
think he's a jackal. And Joe from Megalobox. Now this is best boy, not best character necessarily. Well, no,
Yeah.
this
Well,
one's more based on the character that they portray more less than themselves, or unless you also count that towards what best boy is. My immediate vote is going to Kataru Tatsumi from Zombieland Saga. He that man is beautiful in
same.
every
Like,
single way.
if anything, I think I would confuse him. I would confuse the voice actor as playing himself. To be honest with you,
Honestly, like it was so good.
Good Bird.
Fucking like that. He was just too good of a character. Like I've never seen a character like I've seen goofy characters, but not to that extent where it was just to like taken for a ride. It was just so great.
Exactly. Exactly. I mean, I wouldn't be even surprised too if a lot of the shit he was saying was ad libbed.
Oh, I'm sure it was. It had to be. There's no way it wasn't. Some of that shit was wacky.
But definitely, I'm going definitely Kotaro for best
Mhm.
boy. That's definitely my vote.
Next up, we got Best Girl. We have Anzu from Hinamatsuri, Hinata Miyake from A Place Further Than the Universe, Lily Hoshikawa from Zombieland Saga, Aspira from Golden Kamuy, Nadeshiko Kagamihara from Laid Back Camp, and Mai Sakurajima from Bunny Girl Senpai. Bunny Girl Senpai herself.
Mm-hmm.
Uh,
I don't know. But for best
um,
girl, I want to go. I want to go along with the whole best boy
mhm,
characteristics as well. Like, how the characters encompass themselves as who they
yeah,
are.
mhm.
Really true to who they are as a character.
My
So
vote's going to Anzu because she's more precious than anything in this world. Like, goddamn.
same. like like again, I didn't cry, but like there was a tug in my heart
I fucking cried.
watching her arc. You cried?
Yes. She fucking punched me in the heart too hard. I was not in a comedy anime. You can't just throw her in and just have her be the diamond in the rough. Like, come on.
Like
Like her and
literally the homeless diamond in the rough.
it was too she. Oh my god! It's just I've never seen a character more precious than her. Like, I'm sorry.
Like if there was if there was a must always protect, that's she's guaranteed one of those characters that you have to
Oh,
protect.
easily best daughter in a.
Like it wasn't hard watching her, but it was sort of like how do you describe it? It's kind of like you want to be able to do something, but you obviously can't. You kind of have to
Right.
watch her because you don't want to help her either because you want her to like
To grow to like it's literally
exactly
that fatherly feeling like you see your little girl fall over and you're like I want to help her up but she's got to learn how to get up herself.
exactly, and she
She's got
does like she does her very best every single time she's on screen,
right and
whether it's
it's
picking up cans
amazing.
or working or making was it 5,000 yen after working so hard and gloating because it was so much money that she earned. I'm like, oh no,
Yeah,
this is this is too much.
she's easily best girl for me like and at least in that category.
Exactly. Out of the
The
nominations,
nominees.
definitely something to hold dear to, and just you don't want to let go, but you kind of have to
Right,
want her to grow as an individual.
right.
Uh,
Next section we got is best opening sequence. Now this, yeah, whatever. First up we got is Watsukoi Love is Hard for an Otaku, with their opening song, Fiction by Sumika Takashi Horouchi with Sachiko Harada. We have the Darling and the Franks opening called "Kiss of." Oh Jesus Christ! There's a lot of subtext to these fucking titles. So I'm just gonna give you the name of the song. You can look up the anime in the opening. Fuck you. Darling and the Franks, "Kiss of Death" opening. Kagekuri, "Deal with the Devil." Pop Team Epic song. Agretsuko's theme, and JoJo's Bizarre Adventure, Golden Wind, Fighting Gold.
Now, out of all of these, I was surprised. I was quite surprised about JoJo's, just because I was actually expecting a lot of flair and a lot of very very JoJo. Right. If that makes any sense.
It was not a very JoJo opening.
Yeah, surprisingly.
It was good, but it wasn't as flary as I thought it was gonna be. Agretsuko wasn't super unique. It was just a heavy metal background, which, if you know anything about Agretsuko, her whole thing is the way she relaxes from her super stressful life. Her stressful adult life is to go to a karaoke bar and just scream heavy metal, which is sets the tone for it, which is fine and all. It's great, but it just wasn't unique enough for me. The Kagekuri opening was visually stunning, but I don't like the song at all.
Exactly, because a lot of for these, like, these opening sequences, even the ending ones we're going to be talking about as well, a lot of it has to be about, like, musically interesting and captivating. Right. That's what we're going for in terms of voting for one of these categories.
Right. Watsukoi has a great opening. It's rather simple, but the animation's great for their little their movement scenes.
Yeah, it's very cute. It's very very lovey-dovey in terms of the visuals and all that.
But the actual vocals and music to the song is great. Easily can survive on its own. Very how would you explain it, Jomel? What's the
it's like indie pop. It sounds like indie pop-ish. Yeah, indie pop-ish. Kind of with that just kind of backyard kind of sound to it. If that makes any sense, because you get the natural you get the natural voices and all that stuff. Not that many heavily used instruments. It's just you got a good melody, right. And it's very upbeat, and gets straight into the melody and to the point.
In I guess I don't want to say rare, but I guess it is it's rare-ish for a male voice actor, or not voice actor, but singer in openings and stuff.
Yeah, that's true, because it's usually that'll definitely set the tone for the anime itself.
And it's pretty good. There's also Darling and the Franks opening, which we've talked a lot about Darling and Franks in the past.
I mean, it was one of our main topics for for a few podcast episodes.
Yeah, and I have a lot of love for this show, and the opening's really good. The song itself is very somber, very
It fits the show very well.
Fits the show very well, and the visuals as well were very good. Trigger and A1 did excellent job. But personally, I'm gonna have to give it to Pop Team Epic, because this show's opening has no business being as good as it is.
Exactly. Like if I were when the opening first played on its second episode, I was not expecting that kind of quality coming out of a what the fuck kind of show.
Right, Pop Team Epic. Shit post of a show. It's a good it's pop. It's a pop song, but it's not grungy, but it's dirty, but not dirty in the sexually dirty in the grisly way.
I guess
kind of synthy, kind of
very
synthy, dirty,
very synthy. But that synthiness also it kind of harks back to older openings actually as well, because when I first listened, a lot of it was very classic to me. It felt almost as I guess nostalgic in a sense, but
Hmm.
it really felt really good to listen to.
Right.
It was really good,
And
and surprisingly coming out of a show which is the shit post of a anime that was Pop Team Epic.
right. And as well, the actual visuals for to the opening video is are amazing. It's full of colors, full of that pop team charm.
Exactly, and I can also say this as well, Jaron.
Uh-huh.
Pop, Pop Team Epic, the song title itself, it's also a really good DDR and or a dance machine song to dance
Oh
to,
yeah, yeah, that's
because
true.
I have personally actually danced to this in a dance machine over round one nearby me,
Mm.
and it was actually really fun to dance. It was like, you felt the beat, you felt like
Mm-hmm.
the melody go on. It felt really good to dance to. So
Mm-hmm.
points for that in terms of opening.
Mm-hmm. So my vote, as I said, is going to Pop Team Epic. How about you, Jamal?
I will have to say the same, just because I can actually dance to it really well.
Right. Let's see. Next up, we have again the counter, the best ending theme with Megalobox, Kakate Koyo, Attack on Titan season 3, An Akatsuki no Requiem. Yeah. After the Rain, Refrain, Fooly Cooly Alternative, Star Overhead, Review Starlight, Fly Me to the Star, and Fooly Cooly Progressive, Spiky Seeds.
Now, if you notice, Fully Cooley is actually both on this
Yeah.
on this list.
Which isn't fair because Fooly Cooly just in general has good music. The Pillows are a fucking gem. I love them. I'm just sad I haven't watched Fooly Cooly.
Right.
Watched progressive or alternative.
Mm-hmm. But the pillow, like you can pretty much tell it's the Pillows right away just from their vocals
Yeah,
alone. Like
immediately.
they've got that classic chord as well as that classic sound that
Hmm.
you know and love from from like Adult Swim back in 2004.
Yeah, I and see the only sad bit about it. Well, unless they're just going for a general different feel, neither of them can't have the same feeling as the original ending, but they
That's
do
true.
have their own charm.
Exactly. Like they do what they do best in their respective seasons.
Right. Um, but I do want to talk about Megalobox's ending. Like that, it's really good.
Yeah,
Like
like
there visually, there's not much going on. It's
yeah, it's
just the
like
credits and some like neon light effects.
yeah, general
But
rolling credits and all that.
it's really good.
Like it's actually kind of like surprising how both it's also rare sometimes where you can get a show that can encompass its tone in both the opening and in the endings as well.
Yeah. Because if you didn't watch Megalobox, it takes, I guess you could say, it takes inspiration from both Cowboy Bebop and like Samurai Champloo.
Yeah.
Like it literally, if you took both eras of anime and just shoved them together, you would get what Megalobox essentially is. It's just like this funky, like all the music's like really funky, really like lot. There's a lot of
Like
rap and
jazzy.
jazzy. Yeah,
I mean, and it also harks to the anniversary of Champion Joe, which is a classic boxing anime as well from
yeah.
years past.
Hmm.
So it definitely has that like old timey classic feel,
Right, right. It definitely does.
and it
Yeah.
shows in the ending as well.
Hmm. Attack on Titan. Um, the same band plays most all the opening and ending music, right?
I mean,
Or
yeah,
is it just the ending?
no, I think like Linked Horizon is pretty much Attack on Titan's like band
Okay.
at this point.
So
Like if you hear them, that's definitely Attack on Titan at that point.
right. So basically, if you've heard the other openings, I mean, all to seeing or to date, all of them are pretty quality, and this one's no less.
Mm-hmm. Though in that same sentiment, it doesn't necessarily isolate itself from the rest of them. If I want
That
to be
is the,
honest,
that is the problem. It does not. You're right.
like it
Um.
doesn't like define season 3 for example.
Hmm.
In terms of like After the Rain, now see me, I've got a bias at this point because I've been a follower of Eimer's music for the
Hmm.
longest for years now, and like I like she I'm you can, it's Eimer is one of those artists that you can recognize just by listening to the first few lyrics. She's
Hmm.
got that like how Jarron says that smoky, very rough, like tone of voice, very recognizable, very somber tone, but it's just beautiful. It's a majestic kind of tone and feel, and I've always loved that about her music, and as well as about her tone in all of her songs. And
Mm-hmm.
granted, she presents that same somberness in all of her songs, but each one kind of presents a different kind of like emotion.
Mm-hmm.
And I really like, even with Refrain specifically on this list, that captivates that same emotion that surprisingly fits well for the anime as well.
Mm-hmm.
Like it's actually a good representation of how the anime is reflected, or the anime story is reflected from the ending sequence.
Right.
So I'm maybe trying right now. I'm sort of leaning on Aimer, not just for my bias, but just because
Mm-hmm.
the quality of the music as well.
Right.
So I
I
really like
unfortunately can't give it to that one because the video itself wasn't great. Like
the
the
visuals.
visuals. Yeah,
Yeah,
it was pretty standard. It was pretty, but not like nothing special at all.
yeah.
But it was the song, what the music was fucking great. Um, Again, same kind of said for Megalobox. Nothing special going on visually, but just good music.
Mm-hmm.
Um, I'm personally gonna have to give it to FL. Oh, sorry, we forgot to talk about Revere the Starlight.
Yeah, this one was a weird one.
The song itself is good, but again, nothing super special. Neither of the visuals, but the specialness of this song comes from the fact that it's sung by every single character. Like
Exactly,
each
and that
one each one kind of gets their own version of the song.
yeah, exactly. And I mean, I haven't personally watched the anime, but I'm guessing some of the episodes probably center around the characters, and then they sing the ending
Right.
after the episode.
And it's the same tone. It's the same exact song, same melody and everything. But because it's their own voice, you really you feel it. And assuming if something it really happened with them, you'd feel it later on after hearing them sing the ending.
Right. And a pretty standard song, but the special points kind of go towards like the variety of the same ending towards all the
Hmm.
characters.
Right. Personally, I'm gonna have to. I mean, I also have a bias because I really like the pillows. I'm gonna
Right.
have to go with FLCL's progressive Spiky Seeds song because it's just
Is that the one with the scooter ending, or is that the one with the cutout ending?
it's the scooter one
Okay.
because it also has a lot of good visuals. It's like there's a lot going on, probably some stuff you can infer from the story,
Mm-hmm.
um, and that's basically what I'm about with these categories. Is the video good and is the music good?
Right.
Because that's what makes a good ending.
Well,
How about you,
I'm
Jomo?
I'm going with Aimer's refrain.
Mm-hmm.
So I mean, same kind of similar sentiment. Big fan of Eimer as well, but just in general, her music has always been great, even by themselves.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm going more so towards the music quality of the ending sequences. Just for me though.
Right. Next up, we have best voice actor performance.
Now I don't think this is fair at this point, Jarron.
It's really not fair. We're gonna start from the bottom up because
Yeah.
the first we say the first name, you already know who won.
Mm-hmm.
We have Akane, the person that played Akane Shinjo, Reina Ueda from SSS Gridman. We have from who voiced Retsuko from Agretsuko, Rariko,
It's kind of funny. No, just no
which yeah,
surname.
yeah, it's, maybe that's just her pen name or something. We
Probably.
have from Ren Shima from Late Back Camp, Nao Toyama.
Voice. Yeah, that's who was she was voiced by.
That's the voice actor. Megumi Han voiced Miki Makimura from Devilman Crybaby. We have Soma Salto, who voiced Honda-san from Skullface Book Sailor Honda-san. And we have Mamoru Miyano, who voiced Kataru Tatsumi from Zombieland Saga,
Who's also known as our best boy that we voted
who's
for.
also known as Best Boy specifically for how he was portrayed. Immediate vote. There's
Definitely
it's not a competition for me.
this is sort of like sad, but like yeah, he
Killed it. Like there was
like his expression, like the way, like not even that's not even just his character. Like him as a voice actor. If you want to like expand on the voice actor, his
Mm-hmm.
other characters, his other known very popular character he did
Yeah.
voice was Okabe Rintaro from Steins Gate,
Hoin Kyoma.
or that, also known as Hoyuin Kyoma
Right. He
from
just
Steins Gate.
now, if you haven't watched Zombieland Saga, but you have watched Steins Gate, imagine Hoin Kyoma, but like turned up to 11.
Exactly.
It's just absolute, just insanity. But the range that this guy can just put in his voice is amazing. Just for these like performances, and again, we mentioned that we're sure some of it was ad libbed, and
Exactly.
that's just
I mean, when the first episode of Gazaiman Saga came out, he put a promo video of him dressed up as the character,
right.
performing as the character to promote the show. So
And it's just
that's
amazing.
dedication. That is dedication right there.
Right. I absolutely love it. Next up, we have Best Voice Actor English. Now, here's the problem. I don't watch most anime in English.
Mm-hmm.
So I can't really give a vote here. The only one
Um,
I've heard was All Might's voice.
Same. Well, no, actually, I'm different. See, for me, I've only run into 4 out of the 6 here that of the English. Well, actually, no, 5. Sorry, no, three. Sorry, three of the English voice actors here. Well, actually, I don't know. Didn't is this the same voice actress that also did Haruko from Fooly Cooly?
Now, yeah, that's the thing. If it's the same voice actress, then I am familiar with her. If she's the same voice actress that did Haruhara from Fooly Cooly, if she's the same one from the original show, then
Yeah, I'm
uh
looking. I'm doing a quick look up, like search up right now,
yeah.
just to make sure. Let's see.
Let's see. From original Fooly Cooly, Haruna was no, it's diff. Wait, hold on.
Oh wait, is it the OVA
Yes.
or OAV? Yeah,
Wait, English.
yeah, I think
Kari
so.
Walgren. Yeah, same one. All right,
Yep,
I got my
same
vote.
You over here?
Yeah. I'm going with Carl Walgren. Uh, that voice. Haruko Haruhara from Fooly Cooly.
Okay, and well, we didn't get to run down all the nominations here, but
Oh, yeah, that's true.
the nominations were Carl Walgren,
Walgren
that voice
from
Haruko
yeah.
Haruhara from Fully Coolly Progressive, Christopher Sabat, that voiced All Might from My Hero Academia, Erica Mendez, who voiced Retsuko from Agretsuko, David Wald, that voiced the narrator from Mr. Tonegawa Middle Management Blues, Tia Ballard, who voiced 02 from Darling in the Franxx, and who Erica Harlacher, that voiced Violet Evergarden from Violet Evergarden. Now, so so you're going with Carl Walgren, right?
Walgren. Yep.
So for me, I've experienced Carl Walgren's acting, Christopher Sabat that did All Might,
Mm-hmm.
surprisingly Tia Ballard from that did 02, and Erica Harlarch that did Violet.
Mm-hmm.
And out of all the ones that I have listened to, I'd have to go. I personally would have to go with Christopher Sabat that did All Might,
Mm-hmm.
because in terms of English voice acting, now granted, translation is it's a bitch to do.
Yeah.
So I have to be able to give credit to the translators to be able to formulate a script that stays in tune with the rest, that stays in tune to the original source material, but at the same time has that does about enough changes to be able to attract a English audience, right? English speaking audience.
Right.
That also involve, and a part of that for me also involves in terms of how well their voice acting encompasses the character.
The
Like
character, yeah.
you can like, if you were to hear their voice in terms of their character, does their acting as well as their tone and all that represent the character put on screen and also being able to compare it to the
Mhm.
original Japanese counterpart.
Right. And I would agree with you if you put them side by side. While I will always say that Japanese is more emotional or sounds more emotional than English. Christopher Sabat does an excellent job as All Might in like the what am I looking what word am I looking for, the heroicness in the voice, you know, that ha
Yeah,
ha, you know, that jolly kind of
exactly. Like that,
feel.
like
They
the
both
job,
have it.
like that superhero tone of
Yeah.
voice, and just he does a good All Might. He is a good All Might, if anything, in
Mhm.
terms of his acting, and it really shows. I don't is My Hero also part of Funimation as well? I can't remember.
I'm gonna say no because it wasn't taken off Verve when Funimation went away.
That's true. Hold on. I'm gonna just do a quick search just because.
I don't think so, actually.
Because I mean, I tend to have a little bit of a bias. Because if it was the reason why I'm speaking specifically for Funimation is because Funimation has always had a good cast when it comes to English voice acting.
Uh,
Relatively, I mean, they've been pretty
recently,
consistent.
recently they've
Is it
had.
really?
I would
Okay.
say recently and way back when.
Oh, they are licensed by Funimation. Yes.
Okay.
So, because I mean, yeah. So far, I mean, they've so far Funimation has had a pretty consistent English voice acting cast,
Mhm.
relatively. Um, so yeah, definitely my vote's gonna go towards Christopher Sabat. Because between with Tia Ballard and Erica Hallarcher with their respective roles, they did a pretty good job
Mhm.
trying to encompass the character.
Right.
Though they were missing that little bit of a push just to get it right. If that makes any sense.
I don't know. I'd say Carl Walligan she absolutely just made the character for me. Like it's the erratic tones of voice to the insanity that is the character of uh, Haruko, Haru, whatever Haruko. Um, uh, I feel like Miss Walgren absolutely nailed it when translating it into English.
Actually, yeah, no, I agree with you with that. Like she comes in a close as a good close second for me. I was talking mostly about the one that did 02 and Violet.
Sorry.
Yeah,
I didn't. Again, I haven't heard either of them, so I can't.
like if I want to just delve in just a little bit, like for Violet, her English Violet, oh yeah, English Violet, she wasn't, I guess, Kudori enough, if that makes any sense. And then
Mm,
02 wasn't 02 enough, if that makes sense as well.
no, it makes sense because again, we always, I always say that again, Japanese sounds way more emotional, but I guess, I don't want to say act it better because we don't. I don't. I can't. I don't have the professionalism to be able to say that
Yeah,
with a full burst. But I
same.
would say that more eccentric characters are acted better than they are in English
Right.
because I don't know. It's either it's because I don't understand what they're saying without subtitles that it doesn't sound cringy, but when I can actually hear what they're saying and understand it, it feels cringy when they try to match it.
Like it's almost
It's
too
too
forced in a sense.
it's too goofy. Yeah, it
Oh,
sounds too
okay.
forced and goofy. But again, because my ears aren't used to Japanese outside of anime, um, it's probably just a bias because we can't really tell what Japanese voice acting is unless
Oh
it's
no.
really really bad.
Actually, we actually got a taste of that, John. I don't know if you're going. We're going back a little bit. Bit of a segue here. Zombieland Saga, the chicken episode, that CEO or that manager.
Oh yeah, that's a good point. That guy was pulled off the street.
Actually, no.
So,
Turns out that's the actual like CEO of that chicken
oh,
place.
that's pretty cool.
They had him read the line. They had him read a script, and that's a good example of like bad voice acting or amateur voice acting versus professional.
Yeah,
So there's a good
not so
example
much
right there.
acted and just said.
Yeah, it's like recited lines rather than
Yeah,
like acting. Almost done, guys. Almost done. We got plenty more. Going up here is best director.
this one's actually kind of difficult.
Yeah, because right now, because I mean, because when it comes to the best directing, I don't want to have to go towards their past. I want to go. I want to. For me personally, if I want to vote for best director, I want to go for how the director was able to, tell a story. You
Just
know,
be like me, Jomel, not being able to recognize Japanese people's names.
well, I'm not gonna, I'm not gonna recognize any of these people. All I'm saying is that I want to vote for someone that told the best story.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So, um, we want to start off here for the best directors nominations. Here, we're going with Masaki Yuasa, directed Devilman Crybaby.
Hmm.
Um, Atsuko Ishizuka, that directed A Place Further Than the Universe. Yuo Moriyama, that directed Megalobox. Yohei Suzuki, that directed Planet With. Taichi Ishidate, that directed Violet Evergarden, and Hiroko Utsumi, that directed Banana Fish.
Now, personally, I've only watched 4 out of the 6. I haven't watched Planet with or Banana Fish, but oh no, actually no, false. I've only seen 3 out of the 6 because I also haven't watched A Place Further Than the Universe. However, regarding A Place Further Than the Universe, I have heard a lot about it and seen quite a few scenes from it, specifically from watching Giguk's like look into it, I guess.
Mm-hmm. Shout out to Good, by the
And
way.
shout out to Giguk. Uh, but like just hearing him talk about it just set the tone for what the anime's like. And I don't know if I'm gonna vote for it yet because we gotta talk about it, mull through some thoughts here. But it
That's true.
sounded and looked like it was very well directed, very well, like everything that happened in the show just had a good purpose. It had beautiful scenes where because the whole idea was that these girls wanted to go out and have that adventure that everyone says that they will have but never really get to. They actually go out and do it. They plan and go on a trip to Antarctica, and they make it, and you just get to these like beautiful scenes of just their journey towards it, and the beautiful silences that he portrays when you're looking at beautiful scenes. And
Mm-hmm.
um
Yeah, I mean,
that's
I saw the same video too, and I was able to get that feeling too. So, yeah, surprised like after watching this video, I actually wanted to like go on my own adventure as well.
yeah,
Like
that's
started thinking about that as well,
hmm
because their thing is that while they're in high school and still young and be able to do it, that's the goal. Like you should be able, like if you want to be able to go do an adventure, go ahead and do it. It's like
hmm
being able to accomplish a dream or a goal without having to hesitate about it.
right.
I mean, yeah, same. I mean, same. I don't think I feel like I can't vote right now because right now, to be honest, in terms of directing or direction, um, I, I'm going right now. I'm between Violet Evergarden and A Place Further Than than the Universe.
hmm
I'm going with Violet Evergarden just because it's an original story,
Yeah,
and that in and of itself is also a hard job to do, especially if you're going off of nothing in terms of source material.
that
Oh
is
no,
very true.
actually no, I'm sorry, false. I made an oopsie. It's based off a light
What?
novel.
Oh, is it? I thought it
Yeah,
was.
no, it is based off a light novel.
Oh,
It's
okay,
based off
never
a
mind.
light novel, but from what I understood from the direct from interviews and stuff like that, there was so much packed into the light novels. It was difficult to be able to really pick out good stories, and at the same time try to encompass the whole story around Violet's evolution as a human being.
Hmm.
So because he did a really good job in terms of directing Violet Evergarden, but I can't necessarily vote as of right now. I mean, you saw Devilman Crybaby, Jarron. How about what do you think about that of Devilman's
I
nomination
thought
here?
it was very well done, very well directed. Like it was,
Because isn't this a remake or a reboot?
yeah, it's essentially a remake of shit. What was it called? It's not Devilman Crybaby. It's Devilman something. I don't remember. I didn't watch the original. So I was, fresh eyes to this idea, and I was very hesitant on watching it, but a friend of mine kind of pushed me into it. and we watched it together. Uh, but like it's what do I have to say about it? Like it was the entire show was heartening and disheartening at the same time because again, as we said before, the villain wins in the end, and when Satan wins,
Nobody wins.
no one wins. So it just kind of he just he portrayed this kind of downward spiral so well that it was just twice as unfortunate. But at the same time, unfortunately, by the time it got to the ending, I don't know if this is based on me or not. I wasn't exactly sad that it ended badly because it kind of just felt like it would.
I see.
Because by the time like the world really started breaking down, you kind of already knew there was no way to recover. Because the director, I guess, really pushed the whole human emotion kind of thing where if something's different, we absolutely have to push it away because it threatens our, I guess, superiority.
Mm-hmm.
And in certain cases you got to see like in one particular you got to see that kind of be trumped, but literally everywhere else it was just you know bad.
Okay.
So uh he did a very good job in portraying
Like that,
the
like
shitty sides of
hopelessness.
humanity. Yeah, this shitty hopelessness.
Okay.
um we both watch Megalobox. It's just it again, we said it before. It just feels like a mixture between Cowboy Bebop and Samurai Champloo, and though both shows were fucking excellent.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know what more to say about it. It's just
Yeah.
it was just the ideas that it was portrayed were just blended together very very well. And since it was a reboot of the old Champion Joe, it's like
It's a good callback, to be honest.
it's
Like a throwback series.
yeah, because it felt old, it felt
Yeah.
like an ancient anime, but it
It had a standard storyline. Like it pretty.
yeah,
It was just basic. You got your underdog, trying to get to the top.
yeah,
That's. I mean, I'm not saying that it's an easy story to follow up on, but it wasn't as complex that
right,
that needed a lot of character build up or character analysis and all that.
right. And the fact that you're able to take the simple idea of underdog fights his way to the top and make it an instant classic,
Mm-hmm.
because it is a classic, but make the reboot a classic itself is, I say, something to be said.
That's true. Yeah. There's like it's in a way it kind of shows that there was some attention and care put into it.
Oh, there was a lot of attention to care because like it was just I don't know. It's definitely all a callback to the old anime, and you felt it, but it also felt they translated it well to give new viewers like a
Like a
good feel
taste.
for it, a good
Yeah,
taste of it.
definitely. I mean, I can't. Yeah, I don't have any votes right now for this. I mean, we have a week, less than a week, but
Right.
you know,
Um, I don't know if I want to place a vote yet until I actually watch A Place Further in the Universe.
yeah, same. Because that's my, those that's my what's one of my top two.
Right.
So
And I'm not terribly interested in Planet With or Banana Fish. So,
we'll have to move forward then. For now.
currently, I'm gonna say that I place my vote into Megalobox because while I did love Violet Evergarden, I think Megalobox was just seeing everything. I can't think of anything wrong with it. I can't point anything out wrong with it. There's a couple things with Violet Evergarden that I didn't necessarily like. Like as much as I did like the extra stories that were added,
Mm-hmm.
they weren't necessary.
Right. And
Um,
actually, there's also good too because with Megalobox, that's an original series. That's an original storyline that had to be formulated to work.
that is true.
So that's some um what's the word I'm looking for? That's some credit to be owed, you
Right.
know, Because when you're given the idea, like, all right, let's bring back Champion Joe in 2018, how
But
the
make
fuck
it
do we do that?
modern. Right,
Exactly.
exactly.
Just add robots, but not robots. What?
Everyone else has used robotics, but except the main character,
Exactly. Like,
and he wins because anime.
because it's Joe. That's why. Because it's
Right,
Joe.
because Joe. Right. Because he's a true boxer, and everyone else is fake. I guess
Exactly.
it's the idea of it.
So, but more, I guess later votes for that.
Yeah.
Moving forward though, for best animation, okay. So me personally, this is no competition. To be honest with you,
Yeah. This.
I'll
Look, when you have the budget to do what you do.
actually no. The thing is, it's not even just that. Well, let's name the nominations first.
Yes. So first up, we have Violet Evergarden from Studio Kyoto Animation. We have Devilman Crybaby from Studio Science Saru. We have Megalobox from Studio TMS Entertainment slash 3X Cube. We have A Place Further Than the Universe from Madhouse. We have Bloom Into You from Troika. And My Hero Academia Season 3 from Studio Bones.
So when I said that there's no competition here, if Kyoto Anime is on this list, then see for me that's a guaranteed win already. That's my vote.
Yeah.
Now
They're really good at what they do.
it's not even that because I looked more into it. And, it turns out Violet Evergarden was animated by Kyoto Anime's smallest staff they've ever had
Right.
when it comes to like any anime they've ever done, which is mind blowing. And not
Because
only
of how fucking beautiful it was.
exactly like, and not only that, like the opening itself was key animated by one person on that team, which is already mind
Jesus.
blowing as it is. So, because I obviously animation takes a lot of time, care, and effort, and Kyoto Anime has been doing it nonstop for. If anything, they've been upping themselves every fucking year.
Right.
And at this point, I like the only other company the only other studio I could see comparable would probably be Ufotable that's done the Fate series and all that, and I think there's one more. Oh, Shaft.
Yeah, Chef.
And Trigger, Shaft and Trigger, because animation is more than just flowiness and shininess, but also like characteristics. Like if you can recognize a style, or if you can recognize a studio's animation just by its style and by its flow and its look, then you've done a pretty good job in being able to define yourself in terms of style, but also redefining or what is it? Not just redefining, but creating your animation style.
Right. And it's just like I would say personally that Kyo Annie's main, I guess the biggest strength is like their attention to fine detail. It's just like if you watch again with the smallest team, but the probably one of the fattest budgets that they had. Like
Definitely.
like literally just watching the anime, you just see little bits and pieces of just perfection everywhere, and it's great. Like fucking every ripple in their movement, every fucking
Exactly. And the thing is too, a lot of Violet Evergarden could have been CG'd. A lot of it could have been.
right, but it wasn't.
Exactly. The only thing that was CG were the typewriters. That was it.
Right,
Everything else was hand drawn, which is like, because even with the complexity of Violet's like metal arms, like those could have been easily CG'd, like right from the get go.
right. And if anything, those are probably the most detailed things in the show because anytime you get a good look up close, you just see, like, you can just see this, like, every single tiny detail. You just see all the mechanisms, all the fucking shit just kind of going on that might be going on underneath the metal plating of it, and it's great. But
Like
yeah,
no competition.
no competition.
Like I mean, if KyoAni, Trigger, Shaft, and Uniform were on this list, that would be a bit of discussion. But
Right.
if KyoAni is here, and I mean, granted, everyone else there has done really good. Madhouse is always notorious for really good
That's
stuff.
true.
Troika, I've seen a lot of Troika stuff, really good stuff too. Bones, they've been coming up as of recently, actually.
Right.
I mean, not to discredit any of these guys, but I feel like KyoAni has really honed and crafted their
Right.
craft over the years, like especially like coming from what is it? Coming from one of the most basic animes I can remember, Lucky Star. That was KyoAni.
Yeah, that
or
was.
or maybe something else recently. Dragon Maid. That was KyoAni as well.
Oh yeah, they did do Dragon Maid, and Dragon Maid was pretty as hell too. Simple
Exactly.
but pretty still, nonetheless.
Exactly. So they don't just do detail stuff, but they got a range. They have a lot of good range.
Hmm.
So that's definitely where my vote is going for.
Um, and just a quick note for Devilman Crybaby and Megalobox. We said before Megalobox tries to bring back that classic style of anime, and it that does translate pretty well into his animation, but it also has it's modern enough to not just look like old hot garbage.
Yeah, exactly. It holds up.
um, and then Devilman Crybaby was just basically an experiment. It literally looks like a visual experiment, and it's great.
Mm-hmm. Like, I mean, Netflix did a good job when it comes to investing into it.
Yeah, they certainly did. Um, so next up we got best film. Now I haven't seen any of these, so I
Let's
can't vote.
see. I've only gotten two. I wait. Yeah, I've only seen two. Though now that I see that KyoAni also did a movie, I'm probably gonna have to watch this one now too, because
Oh, Liz and the Bluebird. Yeah,
because Shaft is in here too with
yeah, that's
fireworks.
true.
Shaft
That's
is in
true.
here,
I've
and
seen previews of fireworks, and I might have to give it to that one because I love me some Shaft, but I don't know.
exactly you know, but okay. Okay, so me, I don't think I'm gonna vote in this one. But out of the
Yeah.
two that I did see My Hero Academia Two Heroes as well as Fireworks.
Hmm.
Um, what do you think, Drew? How do we want to go for best film? Are we just going with like a good movie?
Yeah, just good. Because again, movie has to encapsulate an entire idea, emotional range, and story within an hour and 30 minutes or so.
Yeah, because I haven't watched this yet, but I do want to see Mirai of the Future because
Hmm.
it was done by Studio Chizu, which is known for Wolf Children.
Oh yeah.
So that's definitely
Ooh.
something I want to like watch before I cast a vote for any of these. Because right
Hmm.
now, as of right now, I'm leaning more towards Fireworks.
Hmm.
Just because it was visually stunning. It told a good story in terms of like originality,
Hmm.
and threw me for a complete loop with its I guess in-game mechanics in terms of how I want to point it as.
Yeah.
Because what Shaft what Shaft does best is throw fucking curveballs at you, and they did a good job shafting you throughout
Hmm.
the whole movie. So I'm not I can't vote right now, but I am leaning towards Fireworks. Not until I see Mariah of the Future somewhere.
And personally, I have to watch a lot of these, but in particular, I mean, I know what to expect from My Hero Academia 2 Hero, so I probably wasn't gonna vote for it anyway. But I definitely want to see The Night Is Short, Walk On Girl, Mirai, Liz and the
Yeah.
Bluebird, and Fireworks. Particularly The Night Is Short because again, Studio Saru did Devilman Crybaby, but they also did Tatami Galaxy. If you've ever seen that, that also was like visually just insane, but its story and like concepts were beautiful
Okay. Well,
and just very well done.
before we move on from here, the nominations for the best films here were,
Oh yeah.
like I said, The Night Is Short, Walk On Girl by Studio Stein Saru, My Hero Academia's Two Heroes by Studio Bones, excuse me, Mirai of the Futures by Studio Chizu, Liz and the Bluebird by Studio KyoAni or Kyoto Animations,
Mm-hmm.
Mazinger Z Infinity by Studio Toei Animations,
Oh fuck, I
and
forgot.
Fireworks by Studio Shaft.
Toei
Um,
Animation also does some good shit.
they really do last. I mean, I saw the preview for Mazinger Z. It looks really good, like
Mm-hmm.
as a classic mecha Mazinger Z, anime from like the 1970s. Really good
Mm-hmm.
modern translation in
Mm-hmm.
2018. So
I have to look
again,
into it.
can't cast our votes, but we do have these. These were our thoughts about it so
Favorites, I
far.
guess.
Yeah, but good list though. It's a good list.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
I mean, I guess the only one that's probably less impactive will be My Hero, just because it's another subplot of
Yeah.
My Hero.
Right.
Um,
Though it does give you some backstory about All Might. It's not anything to be, it's not nothing unexpected, unfortunately.
yeah. Though it does, though it does have the same My Hero feel. Like it'll get you
Yeah.
pumped up and ready to punch shit.
Right. Right. Right.
So, but good choices though. A lot of good nominations.
Hmm.
Definitely votes coming in later though, because we do have a couple of days left.
Hmm.
Next up here is best character design. Oh,
Now this is a little
so
difficult.
a little
Uh,
bit because there's a lot of this is complete. If I to be honest with you, best character design is completely subjective at this point.
well, they're all subjective.
Oh yeah, that's true. Yeah, I mean, at least some of them had some, some of them had some general rules, but I feel like for best character design, it all depends on what your style is.
Yeah, I guess that's true. But I mean, I guess character design can vary from like if they're maybe if too flashy and too much going on with the character themselves, visually, I guess if that that's what you mean by design, unless that encapsulates their personality as well. But since it's the entire show, it's just everybody in the show and their designs.
Yeah, like
So if it's too flashy or too plain, I guess,
yeah. I mean,
or
I'll run down
um,
the nominations here. Starting from the
yeah,
top, we're going with Violet Evergarden, Devilman Crybaby, Zombieland Saga, Megalobox, Agretsuko, and JoJo's Bizarre Adventure: Golden Wind. Like this is a good example right here. It's kind of like you have Agretsuko and then you have like JoJo.
right.
So two
It's
different characters.
vastly different.
Exactly, you have two different styles, and the subjective part in term is comes in when it comes to like what's your style. Or a good example of this encompassing together is Zombieland Saga, completely thrown of a loop of the of what the anime is, but it could also be mistaken for a like a, not I won't say moe, but it's very cutesy in a sense,
Yeah,
despite it actually being a idol anime,
right.
or
I
even
can't
like
give it to them
Megalobox.
because they did CG, and that's a big no no.
No, yeah, that's true. I mean, to be honest with you, I think it more so harks to the that's because that's sort of like the unfortunate callback to how a lot of idol animes come from the mobile games
Yeah.
of their originators, because a lot of them, a lot of these mobile games are a lot of the mobile idol games. You have the characters dancing, which is traditional CG. So that's
Hmm.
majority of that is like a homage to that kind of origin story, I guess you'd say.
Right.
But yeah, it was. But even I've seen good CG for anime. Zombieland Saga kind of went towards that
Bad
camp.
side.
Yeah,
Campy. Kind of takes you out of it.
exactly.
The only saving grace is it's kind of fun watching fucking Tai Yamada stumble around in CG
Yeah, that's
while
true.
they dance.
It's like
Yeah. I will give him that. It adds to her goofy factor, but it ruins the feel of each song, um, with the bad CG.
exactly. But in
This
terms of,
one's actually kind of hard.
I mean, it's hard, but I think more so I'm changing my perspective on character design. Whereas right now, to be honest, I'm kind of going more towards Megalobox, just because I'm looking at character designs in terms of like variety. Like for Megalobox, there was you could distinctly tell which character was which character,
That's true.
and also they had their own kind of like uniqueness to it. Granted, Megalobox did a lot of callback to its original Champion Joe series, where a lot of um you know um for example, his coach had that eye patch thing. So did like the original Champion Joe series. You had the coach with the eye patch. It's that kind of like callback. But Megalobox was still able to produce character designs which were unique to their characters as well as recognizable from long distance shots and all that stuff.
That's a good point.
Whereas like
But
without,
I don't know if I want to say that, but that's just because of its grasping back to older anime.
yeah, I mean, I'm also going towards like it's like you said with the animation, it fits the aesthetic in terms of the whole show.
Good point. Good point.
So because with Wild Evergarden, though beautiful animations, beautiful character designs, and all that, not as much variety in terms of every character.
The only
Like
unique one was Violet herself.
exactly,
Um,
So it's and I don't know what about Devilman Crybaby?
I mean, in terms of character design, I mean, again, it felt like a just a huge experiment, and like all the different demons and shit were cool, or devils as they want to call them.
Mm-hmm.
But like for the majority of the show, you just got your main character. You know, I mean, obviously he's fighting the demons and stuff, but like you don't get a huge variety of them until later on. Now, granted,
Mm-hmm.
again, all of them are cool, but I don't know if I can just give it to it because of that.
Right.
And it's also kind of hard to see a lot of them because again, the it feels like the animations, well, okay, I don't want to say experimental anymore because that's just Studio Saru's style, kind of very wishy-washy, kind of all over the place.
Yeah, it's almost whimsical in a sense, but like with
Yeah,
a lot of creative freedom.
very whimsical and free, but it's also kind of hard to see the characters when stuff's going on.
Oh, okay.
But I mean, design wise, they were pretty cool. I'll give them that. But I don't know if I'd throw my vote into it. I think I'm gonna go with Megalobox with you there, Jomel.
Same. Well, how about JoJo?
Yeah, fuck JoJo.
Okay.
I
Not
can't say that they have good character designs, but
not buff enough for you?
it's too JoJo for me. That's the thing.
Yeah. I mean, maybe if you're a JoJo fan, you can probably appreciate it even more.
Yeah, you
But
you you would definitely appreciate it. You probably even go for it because I mean, in terms of uniqueness, I'll give them that they're all pretty unique.
yeah, they've got each character can be identified by what even just the color scheme of their character.
Right. But you can also say the same thing for Gretsuko because they're all different animals.
That's true. It's not very clever character design. It's pretty straightforward.
Right.
So I'm going. Yeah, my vote is going for Megalobox for this category.
Yeah. Ooh, here we go.
Oh, there we go. This is the big one. This is the big one of the year. This is anime of the year. Now I'm sort of just butthurt because Pop Team Epic is not on here,
Yeah.
unfortunately. So,
Yeah. But that
but
we all know that one won, but we had to give others a chance.
yeah, that one won our hearts, but we have to be professional. So,
Right. Right.
but
So
this is the hard list though. This is sort of a difficult list for me to be honest.
we got
Um,
a place further than the universe from Madhouse. We got Devilman Crybaby. We have Megalobox, Violet Evergarden, Hinamatsuri, and Zombieland Saga.
anime of the year. That's a big title.
Hmm.
Um,
I know who I'm not giving it to. As much as I love Zombieland Saga, they dropped the ball in a lot of places.
yeah, that's a good what is it? Novelty. It's a good novelty anime.
Great novelty anime, yes.
Like it'll hold up like maybe 5 years from now.
Hmm.
Though, in terms of like the year, actually, I'm kind of surprised. Maybe just me, but Darling the Franxx is not on here either. I
That's
mean,
because that anime was received with very mixed feelings.
really?
That was one of those where everyone loved it or everyone hated it.
Ah, I see.
So it's kind of hard to. I can feel like it was pretty hard to throw in here
I
because it was
guess
such a split idea, split fucking
like
perception.
series.
Yeah.
I see. Hmm.
Again,
Anime of
can't
the
vote on
year.
place further than the universe because I haven't watched it yet.
But I mean, even with the rest here, like, hmm,
I can't give it to Hinamatsuri because, again, as much as I loved it,
was it too? Well,
I mean, I'm not shaming it for the fact that it didn't have a plot because that's not the point of it.
yeah.
But
I don't know.
I
For
can't
some,
shame it for it, but I'm still disappointed.
yeah. Because in terms of like anime of the year, I would have to like I wouldn't say define 2018, but it was a good addition. Like I feel like that was one of those animes you had to watch at that year during that year.
Right. And Hinamatsuri, while good, it's not one of them. Iconic because it's probably currently one of my favorite comedies, but
Mm-hmm.
it's definitely not that. It's not like fucking. It's not anime of the year worthy.
Yeah, because right now I'm just going between two right now.
What, Megalobox and Violet Evergarden?
Yep. In terms of anime of the year.
I don't know. Devilman Crybaby did very well with what it did, though. But you're right. I would hold Megalobox and Violet Evergarden over Devilman Crybaby.
There's really good. Like both of these did really good job for their respective shows,
Right. Great
and
stories.
they both will hold up to the test of time.
Great animation.
Characters are recognizable. Both the main
Right.
characters are recognizable and
Right.
lovable. Oh man, what am I gonna
The
do
only thing
now?
is, Joe follows a standard story, which is done very well. Violet Evergarden kind of has a very unique idea.
And also has like like a really developed character arc as well.
Yeah. Joe didn't really have a character arc. He was just, hey, I'm Joe.
He grinded his way up there though.
He
He
did grind
grind.
his way up there,
Yeah.
but I guess I would say he didn't suffer enough like loss. Maybe he never lost. In fact,
Wait,
in
wait,
fa-
did he? I thought he lost. Wait.
the one that he had to forfeit one because he was being blackmailed, but they eventually
Yeah.
rematched and he won.
Yeah. And then and the only one he had a trouble with was the paraplegic. But he never lost.
Right.
There wasn't a lot of because we're still, I mean, we're going by characters at this point, but yeah, he
Yeah.
never did lose.
I mean, it's the anime as a whole. So the characters, the story, the animation, everything bundled into one.
Yeah. I really enjoyed both. That's a problem.
Yeah.
Both were defining moments of 2018.
Megalobox had me at the edge of my seat. Violet Evergarden had me fucking sniffling.
Oh man, it's like two sides of the same coin. What do you are we gonna flip at this point?
I don't want to flip. It has to be. It has to be legit. It has to
Yeah.
be legit.
Because I also don't want to go by bias either. Because I know I have a slight bias of Kyo Annie, but I loved the fun with Megalobox. It was so fun to watch.
Right. Exactly. Ugh.
Though diving into Violet Evergarden was so like intriguing as
Magical.
well. Yeah, it's mad. Yeah, exactly. It was magical. It was just
Even though there was no magic. There was no like. There was nothing out of the ordinary about that show except for the main character.
exactly.
Nothing about her made sense.
But it didn't have to. Like
It didn't.
a lot.
Right. It didn't have to. It just kind of fell into place, I guess.
Yeah. Fuck. Do we need a couple days for this?
I don't know. We gotta give the people what they want. We gotta vote.
That's true. This is for this week's podcast. Because after this week, it's done. Next
Yeah.
week, next week's podcast, we'd have to already vote by then.
Mm-hmm.
We got Joe versus Violet.
Joe versus Violet, the Knockout Wonder versus Mrs. Metal Arms, or I guess you could call them both Mr. Metal Arm anime.
Exactly. Well, technically, Joe never used his at a certain point.
I'm gonna because I was just about to say I was gonna have to give it to Violet Evergarden because it was gripped by the story more, but no, that's false. I was definitely gripped by Megalobox more because it was way simpler than Violet Evergarden.
It was easier to pick up on.
Way easier to pick up on. But I loved watching Violet Evergarden.
It was so immersive.
It was just
It was
a
so
feast
immersive
for the eyes. Yeah,
Exactly.
and it was immersive.
It was immersive as hell, and like you wanted to be able to, you wanted to watch her grow. Also,
Right.
Damn.
This is. I can't do it haphazardly. Megalobox Violet Evergarden. Megalobox bringing back the idea that people still want boxing animes, but then Kyo Annie fucking whipping its big ass dick out with funding from Netflix. All right, what am I in love with? All right, what am I in love with more? Am I? Why do I like Violet Evergarden? Is it because of the story, or is it because of the animation? That's what I need to understand.
I mean, why do you love Megalobox? Why do you love Megalobox? Isn't it sort of the same feeling?
That's true.
Because Megalobox encompasses that classic feeling.
That's true.
They they're both aesthetically like pleasing to watch. That's a problem here too. They both
Right.
do one hell of a good job of what they're doing.
Right. But the difference is that Megalobox did their art to give you that feeling, while
Mm-hmm.
Violet Evergarden did their art just to be beautiful. It wasn't
True.
exactly trying to achieve anything outside of beauty.
Well, if I want to add some more context into Violet Evergarden, the reason why the animation was done that way was because that's how when reading the light novel, that's how it was supposed to be visually represented. Because the director wanted to maintain the artwork, that the covers and also the images from the light novel, he wanted that to remain the same. So it's true to the source material as well.
That is true. That's pretty impressive. Because
And
it is very hard for animators to translate what's in a book.
yeah, because he said that that was one of the things he wanted to maintain about the light novel, was to keep that same kind of art aesthetic.
Hmm.
They wanted to keep that the same, keep that as consistent as possible.
Damn, why is it? This is actually fucking hard. Like I can't. Like every time I think I'm about to decide on one,
Something else pulls you back in, right?
something else pulls me back in. Like I don't like this, and we still technically have two more categories because they're like sponsored little special fun categories.
Yeah. Ah, man.
Megalobox, Violet Evergarden. Both did excellent in what they were doing. Both are amazing animes in their own right.
They're both so memorable too. Like if you were to say Megalobox, oh yeah, that was a fucking badass anime. Like
Right.
Violet Evergarden, oh I loved Violet Evergarden. Like it's name worthy.
Right. Both are name worthy. Exactly. Both are super special. Fucking Violet Evergarden make me. I think I honestly cried in Violet Evergarden more than I did to any other anime,
Really,
and it
wow.
was specifically because of that damn episode 10. Had nothing to do with the story. It was just a side fucking thing that killed me.
And then Megalobox, that was like the first like sports anime I've seen in a long time too. Like it really got me hooked into the idea of boxing anime again.
Right. So much so that so much so with me that I really wanted to watch Epo, but that's a very long endeavor.
They're both very awe inspiring.
Hmm. Oh man.
Hmm.
Now I'm starting to get to the who really deserves it
Yeah, right.
kind of mindset, because I want to say Megalobox deserves it more because it gave us an old anime, made it modern, and made it probably as enjoyable as the old one was. Whereas Violet Evergarden is certainly beautiful, and the story was told rather well, but there was more of a point to Megalobox than Violet Evergarden in terms of like what it was trying to do. You know what I mean?
Mm, I guess. Well, I
Because like
guess.
again, the point was Megalobox was bringing back the old aesthetic and showing you that it still kind of holds up with some polish. Whereas KyoAni, as always, does an amazing job with animation and storytelling. But
But then again, I would have never heard about. I would have never like thought about the books of Violet Evergarden without KyoAni doing their thing. Like how to say, they exposed me to a story that I now cherish, that I would never have found on my own
mm,
without them taking up the project.
mm-hmm,
Because if anything, I would actually honestly thank KyoAni for even doing Violet Evergarden. Because
that's
even like I even from its first preview that they released, what, couple years ago, like a year before the actual anime, I already fell in love with just that idea.
mm,
Because it was mysterious, but it was also like magic. It looked magical. It looked whimsical. It made me want to explore that world even more.
but that's the thing. The world wasn't complicated enough. It was just
Well, that's the thing
old
too.
English.
I don't
Yeah, it was
know.
Old English basically. The only weird, mysterious part again was Violet. Why was she trained so well at such a young age? Like before, we never got any explanation about Violet. Nothing about her was really revealed. We don't know where her arms came from because nothing in that world even hints that they have the technology for that. Two, we don't know where she got her training from. I mean, obviously, her training was enhanced by being in the military, but before that, she was already a badass.
Right.
We didn't get anything about her. I mean, granted, we didn't get anything really about Joe,
Yeah.
but
Actually, yeah. To be honest, we kind of just find him trying to commit suicide in the first episode.
yeah. But I mean, it's more believable that Joe is a boxer than Violet is this badass fucking child turned metal armed fucking typewriter.
I don't
But
know,
then
John.
again, that's the magic of the story. Ah!
Oh man,
I can't go based on believability because fucking
it's anime.
Bellman Crybaby is not believable, but it's fucking good
Zyberland Saga
because
is
of it.
already Zyberland Saga is already out of that believable department.
Right. It didn't
Actually,
fucking
the
never even explain how they became zombies. We just accepted it.
actually the most normal anime here is probably the a place further than the universe.
Yeah.
That's the most believable, to be honest, out of all the six here.
Right.
We have Hinamatsu is like, was it? Are they time travelers or are they aliens? I can't remember. Or
From Hinamatsuri,
dimension?
no, they were like experiments or something.
Yeah, different dimensional beings or something.
No, Hinamatsuri?
Yeah, is it?
No, they were just like psychics.
Oh,
And
okay,
they
yeah.
were just like
So
they're
where do they
wherever
come
they
from?
came from, that secret organization just had advanced technology for no reason.
Yeah.
Again, nothing. Again, Hinamatsuri, nothing was explained. There wasn't even a plot.
You know what? Pop Team Epic. That's end of the year.
Yeah, but we have to click a button.
Oh my gosh.
I'm giving it to. No, I can't say fuck it. It has to be real.
Okay. What is your heart? We have to go deep into our hearts at this point. We have to go, to our core, not just beliefs, but just objectivity. We have to go objective at this point. Not even that, but like just pure. Okay. So what's the philosophy about anime in general? Being able to entertain you, right? Entertain you, being able to tell a story, being able
Mm-hmm.
to engross you into a world where you want to go back to,
Mm-hmm.
as well as being able to have characters you can love and hate. Still hard. Fuck. Hmm.
God, I don't want to sit here too long because we got to
Yeah.
move on. We're already running pretty long.
Yeah. We've already got 2 hours on our clock right now.
Uh,
All right, here.
you know what? No, I know.
I
I
can.
have to give it to Megalobox personally because based on what I said before, it was driving home a point in the old anime can still look good if given some polish. I'm placing my vote. I'm confirming it now. That's my choice.
All right. Me, I'm going the opposite. I'm going with Violet Evergarden. Violet Evergarden was able to tell like a great story, able to even translate great moments in like the books as well as Violet's transformation from war orphan to essentially a beautiful writer, given
Yeah.
her stoic performance.
Mm-hmm.
So, because if anything, that's probably one of the ones I enjoyed sitting on the couch for.
Mm-hmm.
Probably just being able to sit and watch. All right, it's
All
on
right. So
record, Jarron. It's on record. It's on
it's on
record.
record. We've made our choices. We'll see what happens come February. But we do
Yep.
have two more categories that are pretty fun.
Yeah.
We have best fight scene presented by Capcom,
Yeah. Right.
non-sponsored by to us, but sponsored through Crunchyroll.
Yeah, and we're not also sponsored by Crunchyroll as well.
Yeah, we're
So
not sponsored by anybody but ourselves.
Yeah, exactly. We're not even the judges. Telling me we should be judges on here. Just saying, but
Yeah.
just come on, Crunchyroll. Where are our judge invites? Come on.
Fuck me up, fam.
Exactly.
We have Hina from versus Anzu from Hinamatsuri. We have All for One versus All Might in My Hero Academia season 3. We have Naruto and Sasuke versus Momoshiki from Boruto: The Next Generations. We have Jarron versus Goku in Dragon Ball Super. We have Yami versus Licht from
Liched, I
Black
think.
Clover,
Yeah.
and Satan versus Devilman in Devilman Crybaby. Now, I haven't seen Black Clover, so I can't give it a vote there. Satan
Same.
versus Devilman was not that entertaining. Again, because of the animation, it's cool, but outside of that, it's not like
A fight scene.
that great. I mean, one cool aspect of it was as Satan started ripping bits and like limbs off of Devilman, all the other devils that were on Devilman's side started giving them giving him their piece like arms and legs to continue to fight Satan, which was pretty cool. But outside of that, it wasn't like anything.
Right.
Jiren versus Goku.
That was
Uh,
like 4 episodes.
that was 4 episodes. Dragon Ball Z is very good at its fight scenes,
Mm-hmm.
but I've come to stop liking Dragon Ball Z fight scenes because it's just who can shoot the bigger blast and who's faster
And who can scream the loudest?
and who can scream the loudest. Granted, Jiren didn't really scream much early on,
Yeah.
but it just stopped being interesting to me. If anything, they should have put up Khalifa versus Goku when he went Ultra Instinct because that was interesting.
Right.
Naruto versus Naruto and Sasuke versus Momoshika is probably gonna be my vote, specifically because uh the tail end of, not the tail end, but like midway through Shippuden and anytime anything interesting happens in Boruto, because that anime is fucking was boring the dick off of me. Uh, uh, their like fight animation quality just fucking skyrockets, and it's just
Yeah.
everything's so meticulously planned if you don't pause.
Definitely. I mean, like, I loved My Hero. I don't know why Hinamatsu's not here. Maybe for ironic purposes, but
Well, it's that fight was quote unquote fight
that was
was
no
it
competition.
was funny,
That was
but
Hina was not budging at all.
right,
She essentially killed Anzu with that fucking head spin.
that's true.
But I would have to like go along with you just because the intricacies of like Naruto fights, like up to a certain point in Shippuden and past
Mhm.
that, it's what is it? There like when you look at fight scenes, you kind of want to be like intrigued by the intricacies and also like the little bits of detail of what they do in between of each giant ass punch, even like to the point of the small little jutsus that they do in between.
Right, and Shippuden and later on Boruto just all seem to always get the nail on the head and just give you every single fine detail. Like I specifically remember when Madara was originally revealed, or during the Great Ninja War or something like that. Whenever it happened, I don't remember. But there was a scene where like he like jumped down, everything kind of slowed down except his eyes. You just literally see them dart like flowing back and forth as he's reading everybody's moves. And a lot of that detail is also translated into the fight that's being shown that was shown here. Whereas you just get a lot of just the small, minute details in Naruto and Sasuke's movements against Momoshiki, and it's just great. It's just so well animated
Mm-hmm.
to the point where I'd say that in recent years, in terms of just fight detail, Naruto has probably won in against most anime, just in
Right.
terms of fighting detail.
Yeah, exactly. Like just even just like layering in different intricacies, because there's a lot. Because when they do a lot of layers in the fights, it's really entertaining to watch too.
Right.
So
So
entertaining.
I will give that a what's asterisk. It's only when they're trying, which is
Yeah,
usually during movies or just really really big fights.
yeah. When they have
Otherwise,
all
it's
that
just
budget.
kind of trash. Well, not trash. It's okay, but it's not
Yeah,
like
it's not that level of quality.
right. And lastly, we have Best Continuing Series presented by Verve. We have The Ancient Magus Bride, which wasn't continuing, but I guess if you mean like was more than 24 episodes.
Or yeah, probably that's what they're going with.
Dragon Ball Super, which is still going. Black Clover, which is still going. March Comes in Like a Lion, which ended. One Piece, which is still going. Though I heard it's ending.
The anime or the
At
manga?
the manga is ending at some point. It's actually
Oh,
ending. It's getting closer to their ending, but there's still gonna be quite a few. And we have Boruto. As I said earlier, Boruto was boring the absolute piss out of me, so I stopped watching it. One Piece is just a lot to consume, so I don't know. Personally, I'd probably have to give it to Magus Bride because it's definitely the best digestible one
probably yeah.
in terms of like
It's I mean the studio.
complexity and story.
Yeah, the story is pretty straightforward. It's a fun it's a fun series. Um, I did enjoy March Comes in a lot in Like a Lion, but you know, knowing Shaft, it was very artsy.
Hmm.
A lot of slow moments, but they're very captivating. But
Yeah.
if that's not your cup of tea, then you'd easily get lost into the shaftiness.
Hmm.
And yeah, I mean,
That
and if
you
you
will
don't
get lost down the shaft.
exactly, and if you don't like getting yelled at every 2 seconds, Black Clover's probably not your thing either. So
Yeah. Yeah, no, I fucking hate Black. I want to like that anime. If we could just omit the main character, I'd be so happy.
exactly. Well, turns out he does yell less as you know time
I
goes
I
on.
don't believe that. I feel
No,
like when you say yells less, I feel like that means you got used to it and you don't notice it as much.
you mean you're deaf at that point?
Yes, because he literally yelled every single line,
and
even when he was trying to talk normally.
I mean, it turns apparently that's also how he is in the manga. But then again, you
You
weren't
don't
being
hear
yelled at.
him.
Yeah, you don't get to hear him scream at you for 4 frames
Right. So
constantly.
I can't even watch Black Clover. Dragon Ball Super,
Just
uh
Dragon Ball.
it's Dragon Ball. I did do a hot take on that episode I did with Steven recently, saying that GT is better than Super
Oh,
because
okay.
GT calls back to original, like kind of original Dragon Ball, where it's more of an adventure and less about the fighting.
Right. That's I mean, yeah, that's probably why I did enjoy GT, despite not being canon.
Right. So that's my hot take on that. But yeah,
Okay.
I'm giving it to Ancient Magus Bride because it's a very easy to digest story. It's though it's simple, it has a magical world that you want to explore.
Hmm.
I mean, One Piece, the Naruto universe, probably Black Clover, and Dragon Ball Z are places you probably want to, are interested in. But like, there's a case where you watch something and you just immediately fall into the world.
Yeah.
And Black Clover is not Black Clover. Ancient Magus Bride is definitely that one because you just
It's also a really good romance series too.
yeah, it's a good romance between a fucking Skella boy and a depressed little girl or depressed high school girl
I
or
mean,
whatever she
her
is.
story was tragic though. Like,
Yeah,
you don't want to see. She has to be saved.
yeah.
You know, protect. Must protect.
Well, she was never really saved. I mean, yes, she was
Yeah.
taken out of the situation, but she kind of saved herself basically,
Yeah, it's
which is
true.
a
Which is
good
good. Yeah.
yeah
Good self awareness, you know.
yeah.
But there you guys have it. Like two and a half fucking hours later, that is the 2019 Crunchyroll Anime Awards presented by Devil May Cry 5.
Right, yeah, right.
Oh yeah, oh yeah, it's actually written on here.
I was wondering about that.
So this is the third annual celebration of Japan's amazing media made possible by the world's most passionate community. Well, we're passionate, all right.
Yeah,
so
fucking
remember, guys, the voting polls are open now. You have until January 18th because they said about a week from January 11th. So that's the 18th of
mhm.
January. Put your votes in now. We just put majority of our votes in for the year. The final winners were going to be announced on February 16th. And if you actually wanted to watch the actual like event, it's gonna be streamed exclusively on Twitch from San Francisco on February 16th. In terms of time, it doesn't really say.
And they'll
So
probably release the time when it gets closer.
yeah, so just look out for your local Facebook groups and all that stuff. But yeah, though that was this year's Crunchyroll Anime Awards. Pretty good lineup actually.
Yeah, very good.
Anime of the year did fucking tore me up though. So, but that's good. That's a good thing. But we've been going on for a bit, guys.
More than a bit.
More than a bit. If you want to complain to us, or maybe even fight us about what our votes are, or what did you guys vote for? What were your votes for the Anime Awards? If you already knew about this, what can they find us, Jarron?
As always, you can find us on Facebook and Twitter. Just search Wannabeeboo. You can find us. You can listen to us on YouTube or Google Play, iTunes, the Listen Notes, Stitcher app, iHeartRadio, and any other place that may have picked us up.
And as always, guys, thank you for listening. Thank you for downloading us. We are past. We've been past 1,000 total downloads. I still gotta do something about that. Cause, well, I've been a bad person in general, but I'm getting better, guys. The years. It's a new year.
We're getting stronger.
Exactly. We're getting stronger. We're getting more weeby. But as always, guys, my name is Jomel Socorro.
My name's Jarron Gaddis.
And we are the Wannabeeboo podcast, bringing the latest and greatest game and anime news, reviews, and waifus for life.
Thanks for listening, guys, and we'll talk to you next time.